Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 73. Tonight, The Matrix Resurrections is finally upon us. And of course, who is this pixelated, mysterious man magically in the thumbnail? All of that and exposing some fandom menace dumb shittery. Here tonight, Hollywood After Dark. Let's get the hell into it. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show tonight. Sorry for the 10-minute delay. Had to quickly put together some information because we are going to absolutely be exposing some BS tonight because I have to more or less defend my good name. However good that name might be. It might be good to you. It's definitely not good to others. But I still got to defend it when people come out and outright try to slander me over something that is really not a big deal, especially when you find out that it was all a mysterious operation in order to come at me from one angle and to garner sympathy for somebody else from another. So anyway, tonight we're also going to be talking about the Matrix Resurrections trailer, the Halloween Kills going day and date to Peacock, and who knows, whatever else might come up. It's going to be a fun evening. Let me just quickly first go through my shillery that I have to do. I want to give a solid Hollywood After Dark loving shout out to the channel members. You guys are an ever-growing group of awesome kick-ass mofos, and I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you all very much. If you want to get your name on this list, you totally can. The join button is right there below the video. Check it out. $2 a month gets you in the door. $10 a month, well, I'll probably marry you. But that being said, thank you guys very much. And we are going to be giving away a copy of Drunken Master 2 on Blu-ray this month. That is our giveaway. And I might add another giveaway once we hit 50 members. We're at 32 right now, 18 to go. So that might be something. And just as my own little shill side project here, if you guys like weird stories, I have another little project called Stranger Days, where I just released the episode, The Day the Clown Died. The true story of why McDonald's fired Ronald McDonald and the weirdness surrounding it. That will be linked in the video description after the show, so be sure to check it out. In the meantime, toss a like. Miss Minutes demands it, because Miss Minutes, she'll straight up cap a bitch. And before we dive in, I did see that there were a couple super chats tonight. Let me just get to those real quick. Gailey Productions here, $2 says, "Sup guys, hope for a great show." Thank you, buddy. And then also another $2, "Can I please finally come on?" Yeah, when I get through, I'll send you a link on Twitter. So we'll get you on. I know you've wanted to come on for a while tonight. And then also Command Unit with a $5 American 15 shekel super chat here. I bought Warhammer Adventures on Audible because it's voiced by David Tennant and Billy Piper. It's weird to have a 40K comic book directed at children. Well, it's also weird that people from Doctor Who are working on Warhammer, but there we go. That is that. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it, guys. All right. So what we're going to be doing tonight, let's bring it on. My friend, your friend, our friend, Mad Max the Mandalorian. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm excited about The Matrix. I have my own theories and speculation. They're really off the wall. That if you decide to talk about it, I could give you.
You did. I was listening to your stream tonight while I was out doing deliveries, and I have to say,
no drama tonight. No drama.
Well, no drama on your channel. Here we're going to be addressing something in a second. But I just want to say that, as far as movie talk goes, I do enjoy Max's stream quite a bit. When it's on point, oftentimes I derail it if I come in there. So there's that, I'll fully admit. And he won't deny it either. But I do enjoy Max's streams, lots of good movie talk, a lot of people wanting to engage in the conversation in a positive way. So if you're looking for something that is a lot shorter than these episodes, to listen after you listen to these episodes, be sure to check out Max. So very much appreciate you, buddy, and I appreciate what you do.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you too. Like we're genuine friends here. I said from the beginning, you didn't have to come on my show. You had it was way back in the day when things were not going over or what, but you're like, sure. And that's when you needed to be careful with people the most, really. And you openly trusted me, and you're like, yeah, let's talk movies. And that's how we connected. That's a genuine person. I could always feel it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's always been a lot of fun diving into the conversations. We've had some weird ones. We've made some friends. We've lost some friends, but we're still hanging out, so that's all good. I do want to address this here by H Barts. Thank you, buddy, for $5. Says a lot of people ask who would win a fight between a wolf and a shark. It's a shark, boss. I mean, if it's in water, then it's a shark. If it's on land, it's clearly a wolf. I mean,
I still go with the shark. He can move his
on land, dude. Like
If
they
he
can
gets the right
only
angle.
they can only really move in like a flopping like lateral movement. You know what I mean? A wolf can just kind of like stop and pivot.
A shark fresh out of water depends on how long he's been out of the water.
And they're also gonna like, you know, they don't have any water to breathe through, so they're gonna suffocate on land or drown, whatever the terminology is. So on land, a shark would not win. In water, I might even give it to the wolf because the wolf can dive in and get the gills. They go for the jugular, right? You know, so they go and they take him out that way.
I got to give a shout out to H Barts in Real Elmo Cinema. Real El Cinema, you got to have a bro bond moment. That's when you really get into bond, when you watch him with your bros. I say go over to H Barts with his dad, get some good food, get some brew. You ever watch Bond with your bros or your dad, or you know?
Yeah, I've watched it with my friends. Yeah, I like Bond is definitely a male centric franchise, and so it's
we'll see if I'm in Real Elmo Cinema. You have the lady, take care of that lady. But if she's not feeling Bond, you're not real. You might not
be
feel
a hero. Be a hero.
Be like Batman.
Be a hero.
But I'm saying that's the best way to enjoy Bond. I bonded with my father watching Bond.
Yeah, it's bondage.
Yeah, well, I don't know which Bond that is.
Oh, it's the sexy kind.
Yeah.
It's the other kind of Bond. It's the other white meat. But anyway, all right. Okay. So why don't we get into the first part of this here. So a couple nights ago, I talked about how there was a private DM that I had put out. That I had said in Max's chat, and we were behind the scenes. We were joking around about the fandom Menace, and that was really about it. It was just like, here is a brief joke at a guy who was wearing a Ryan Kennel hat and a I Stand with Geeks and Gamers shirt. It's just this right here. I don't know. I didn't know the guy's name. I just had seen him. We had interacted on Twitter.
To him.
You're sub to him. That's fine. Go sub to him. His name is Thomas Gilkinator. Go sub to him. Check him out. That's what he wants right now anyway. So we're going to talk about that. So this is a joke I said. This is your average the Fandom Menace fan. No one is worried about these people. That was simply it. Snowdub, who is, another YouTuber, does a show called Tuck and Roll Show, was also in this group. He screenshotted this and then he exposed me in a live stream, which then was picked up by people in the Fandom Menace. It was sent to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. As I found out, by Thomas. It was sent to him by Thomas, who wanted Jeremy to know about this as Jeremy was getting ready to go live on a live stream. So it seems kind of weird, right? Like, why would you want to share this around if it's, if you're so offended by it? Well, I actually today found out why he's so offended by that. And this is what I found out coming in, because Saggy Melons, my friend Saggy, put up a live stream today saying #cancel Matt Jarbo. And Snowdub Live, we can see here.
Is there one of those streams every day about you? I don't know.
Yeah, there's totally all the time. But he says here, in Snowdub says, I only brought it to Thomas's attention first. Thomas gave me his blessing to make it public. So they got a private message that I posted. They put out a private message that I posted. Snowdub took a screenshot, took it to Thomas, got Thomas to sit there and say, yes, go ahead and make it public. And then Thomas also sent that to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. And I'm pretty sure other people in that whole community learned about it. So it was being spread around. Well, okay, fine. If you want to sit there and and do all that to get people mad at me, I get it. Okay. But this is what
I want to say one thing, Matt. I'm here to talk about movies, but I understand you need to clear your name.
I need to clear this up.
Right. And I also want to say this. Snowdub is still my friend, but I'm kind of hurt because of this whole situation, because it caused me a lot of issues and I trusted him. That's why he was there. But I also want to say, if you really care about someone's mental health and you thought it would hurt them, I don't think bringing it in and making an event is a good thing to do for someone's mental health. When really, if you really was not a good thing for you to do, and if I thought you crossed the line with him, I would have said it in the DM. right to your face. Like, this isn't cool.
Yeah,
But this was
so
basically a nothing burger, really.
it's a nothing burger that was turned into something. And so I started getting attacked pretty heavily. In fact, even today, one of Thomas's friends, this woman here named Rose M. Queen, Eagle Writer, says, I'll make it perfectly clear that until the waste pile M. Jarbo apologizes for going after the Gilkinator, I will continue to call him out. I want to feel like a tough man for going after an autistic small creator, then I'm right here, man up or shut up, you worthless pile of fecal matter. So she's been coming at me like all freaking day, right? Like all freaking day.
Disengage with this person as well on social media. I've interacted with her before. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying, yes, just disengage. That's all.
Oh,
but you haven't attacked anyone. I haven't. Listen, I'm going to do a meme shirt with Shang-Chi, a character of Shang-Chi throwing LOLs at people because that's what they say is an attack. LOLs. So they think everything's an attack, but what they do is freedom of speech.
Well, see, but here's the other issue with that, Max, is like, so her and I have kind of been going back and forth all day on Twitter.
Oh, don't even bother.
And as because it's mostly because she just keeps like beating a dead horse. So I just keep reminding her of that. But she made a comment, interestingly enough, about the size of my penis in a response to me, as I sent a gift to somebody else. She says, like, this is how people react when they see you naked. So I said, me criticizing clothing bad, you criticizing the size of my penis good? Gotta love the consistency. And she, again, goes right back to that same argument of you attacked this guy, blah, 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 in a private comment. That was in a private DM group. That was not even aimed at him. It's just
you
mostly
said no one is worried about these people.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I said. But
this
apparently,
is your average fan. No one is worried about these people.
Yeah, that's all I said. And Max can confirm nothing else was said after the fact. And that was just that.
I didn't even remember that. I was
it was super quick. It was super quick, right? So anyway, Thomas here. Right, Thomas here put this video out earlier today. I just want to play like the first couple of seconds of it to give you an idea. Just to give you an idea of what exactly. Hold on, no.
I would say put me in the backstage for this part because I know how they overreact with things and they'll say that this is an attack too.
This is not an attack. This is I'm only going to play the first I'm only going to play the first couple seconds of this. I'm not playing the whole thing. It's a long video.
I'm just
and I'm not. I guess I'm not Max, but I told you this before we started too.
No, you did. You did.
So this is the whole thing here. All right, this is the whole point. Is what you have is you have this guy, and again, I'm not attacking him, but he put out a video where this is what he says right just off the get-go.
And here in the Gilcran comment, how's everyone doing today? Sorry about the light. Oh well. So yesterday and today have been some of the most difficult, but yet beautiful times. So first shout out goes to Snowdub of Snowdub Music and Entertainment. Subscribe to him if you have it on both his channels and follow him on Twitter. Great guy. So he let me know yesterday afternoon that somebody was taking a shot at me. And that somebody was Matt Jarbo, who everyone should unfortunately know of.
But the whole point there is like, he starts off by saying, this has been one of the hardest days. One of the hardest days is what he's saying right there. He's putting out a video. I'm upset. It's been
nice in the chat, please.
It's been so hard.
And we don't need any ammo against Matt.
No, I don't care. Like, I don't care. They can come. I'm clearing my name at this point. All right. Okay. I'm clearing my name at this point. I'm going to get a little bit harsh because I've been getting called a scum and a shitheel and all sorts of names all day for literally just a comment like this that is not that big of a deal. And yet this guy knew that it was something that came from a private group because Thomas gave this permission first to put it out there. He also passed it off to Jeremy and everything else. So now that I've been calling that out, and I did call it out today, he shut down his Twitter account. So this is what I'm talking about here. This is what I'm talking about. You want to come at me, have good ammo to come at me. Don't come at me with this fucking kindergarten, grade school bullshit. If you're going to take a private DM that is a very innocuous jab at like a horrible combination of clothing, and that's it, and then turn it into this I'm attacking an autistic creator nonsense, and then admit that it was all an op anyway, I'm going to call out someone trying to get clout off my name and doing it disingenuously. There's a lot of things I've done that people can criticize me over. Really, I'll fully admit that. But this is not one of them. So I just wanted to address it because it's bullshit. And that's that. I don't want to talk about Thomas anymore. I wish him the best mentally.
Me too. Yeah.
But this shit's exposed. It's exposed. They're all a bunch of liars. And if you see anyone bringing this up, here's the receipts that show you that it's an absolute load of crap. So if you ever see it pop up again, feel free to remind people of that because that's really all it is. Now, on that front, I do want to talk about something else that's gone on within the Fandom Menace, not related to any of this kind of drama. Just so you know, Max, what I want is to talk about the situation involving, what's his name? The situation involving the Alex Jones Friday Night Tights appearance that is tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why this is fascinating is because this situation is going to be either a make it or break it for the Fandom Menace. And we've already seen them this week have a hell of a time because they took the L. They're refusing to take the L with Simu Liu after all that stuff, right? And so it just goes to show you that, I mean, these guys are inconsistent. We know that. To give you guys a quick reminder, the image here on the left is all of their posts. Hold on. All of their posts and tweets from episode 4, chapter 4, The Mandalorian. Is Cara Dune a Mary Sue? Oh my God. To then when Gina Carano was fired, and then they all of a sudden come out and say, hey, listen, we love this woman because this woman now speaks, anti-vax, anti-truth, election fraud nonsense, conspiratorial nonsense. So now they back her because at first she was a Mary Sue, but then as soon as she's on their side, they love her. They want to prop her up, propel her. Now that, again, these are all kind of tied in together because we know that Alex Jones, master of conspiracy theories, the Fandom Menace, acts in a very similar fashion over here in the entertainment space. It's one of the reasons why I called them out last week for all of the disinformation campaigns that they do.
I think it's to help build up. They're admitting they're admitting the audience what they are anyway, because everyone's excited about it. Also, a lot of them have other channels that they're more active on than they're like Jeremy's more active on D-Day Cobra now than Geeks and Gamers, and he just lets bullshit on the Geeks and Gamers. He's getting super political. He's always been super political, but his videos.
Looking at his thing, looking at his social blade, D-Day Cobra has even started to dip. And that, again, so he might be active over there, but if it's not the election fraud thing, which is what rocketed his channel up, then it's not going to be as big as it, because that is the audience he cultivated.
Trump's going to announce something soon. There's also, it's all surrounding that.
Trump's going to go, I'm running again, and he's not going to win. Right, we know that at this point. There's just no way he's going to win. He's already lost. So there's that. Hold on here. McLeod says, I have high functioning Asperger's syndrome, and I'm honestly not offended by Matt. I do believe he was attacking the guy. You think I was attacking Thomas?
Maybe he meant I do believe he wasn't attacking. I don't know.
I wasn't attacking the guy. It's all I said was just don't worry about these people because that's it. But anyway, what I did want to bring up here was Rob from Midnight's Edge. Now I did see from John here saying, Rob hasn't been with Midnight's Edge since the Mecha drama.
Uh-huh.
And in the video description, I do say former associate. But this guy, the thing is though, but he's not wrong with what he's going to say in this prepared statement. I just want to listen to this prepared statement because Rob, I don't think Rob is a bad guy. I've never thought Rob is a bad guy. I've always had, I even like Andre. My issue has always been with Tom because Tom, I think, is the one who kind of controls a lot of the nonsense. But Rob, even with his situation with Mecha Random, he still has an insight into the Fandom Menace, into the ultimate hierarchy. And his point here is very astute. And it goes to show you that even people that are inside of the movement, and he speaks very highly of the movement of the Fandom Menace, are obviously looking at this. And this is not something that I've only seen him say, but he is the first one I've seen come out in order to set the record straight. So John here says, I think Rob's a bad guy. If you think Rob's a bad guy, maybe just his taste in women. So,
I had a problem with him before. he was Kelly Marie Tran when the trailers, he was being pretty nasty with Mecha.
I think a lot of that, and I'm not defending it, because I think a lot of it is also the company you keep.
Yeah.
If I'm being fair, I think that's what a lot of it boils down to here.
He was the one that said she's been hitting the China buffet, and I was like, "You're an asshole."
Oh, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. That I wouldn't. That I'm definitely not a fan of. I think that's pretty terrible. Now John here says, as far as his taste in women is concerned, the guy can do way better. Well,
maybe.
Yes. And again, I've always liked Raw. We've had good conversations, but I do applaud him here for standing up for his convictions. Whether you like him or not, that is something that is up to you. But I think his point here is pretty well made. Let's take a listen to this and just see what he has to say.
I want to read a prepared statement that I wrote. For a few years, I've been associated with those in this podcast collective known as the Fandom Menace. For a good number of those years, we've been subject to much criticism, many of whom are merely guilty by association. I made a lot of friends, actually, in this podcast group, and sadly, we have also made a lot of people we don't ruffled a few feathers. There's been epithets cast about us, sexist, misogynist, and eventually alt-right. Never once did I question the cause wasn't noble. And the voices raised were justified. There was a unifying clarion call. Whether we were fans of Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, or what have you, there was unity in our diverse voices. Our entertainment had become corrupted, and we needed to hold those accountable who had been the corruptors. Though our politics may have differed, the goal was the same, and we were united. United until now, that is. For it seems that the worst has been brought out in many of us, and that the truth has now been laid bare and has been revealed. It has come to light that the controversial figure Alex Jones has been scheduled to appear on the Nerdrotic YouTube channel's Friday Night Tights. First, it goes without saying that Gary Beekler can decide whomever he wishes to have on his channel. That is his business. However, in light of the recent treatment of other YouTubers by Mr. Beekler and others associated with Friday Night Tights specifically, it is quite distasteful that he should decide that Mr. Jones be a guest on his program. Second, regarding the Zack Snyder incident from back in March and the censoring of certain YouTubers. I was told after a meeting with Midnight's Edge, Tom and Andre, that Tom had consulted with Gary from Nerdrotic, and I was told not to associate with Mecha Random 42. And it should be noted, due to her comments regarding Zack Snyder. It should be noted that while certain comments were met with disapproval from the Fandom Menace community, all the while others made by actress Gina Carano were defended unconditionally, the fact that Mr. Jones is scheduled to appear after calling the tragic events of Sandy Hook in 2012 a hoax, openly mocking grieving parents, and though while he had later admitted it was not the case, that he blamed his behavior on the media in a form of psychosis, that certain YouTubers would be censured and cast out of the community for certain comments, and yet others would be accepting of a man who himself has cast doubt on the pain of parents who had lost children, was and is in no uncertain terms disturbing. Make no mistake, the appearance of Alex Jones on Friday Night Tights is a decision that is completely up to Mr. Beekler. He is free to associate with whomever he pleases. However, with that said, it would seem to affirm to the critics of this fan movement their worst fears about many in this community. With the open embracing of Alex Jones, there are those in this movement, known as the Fandom Menace, who have now descended down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theory and paranoia. There have been those saying, no, we're not misogynists, we don't hate women, we're not alt-right, when in reality they should have been saying, well, we're not those things, but then again, maybe we are. With that, I will take questions.
Okay, so that is his statement, and I thought it was really, I thought it was a good one, right? I thought it was a good statement.
I have mixed feelings, but I've watched it too.
Okay,
he's definitely going for the mecha angle.
Well, yeah,
it's hypocritical.
obviously yes, there is that bias of protecting his girlfriend.
So-
that is true.
And
But
she is horrible.
yeah, and I agree. I have no love for Mecha Random. She has threatened to sue me and
And
threatened to
I
sick the
agree with
FBI
them
on
saying
me.
they
And,
don't. I agree with them saying we don't want to be associated with her.
but well, that's the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
but that aside,
Mhm.
there is personal drama there. Yes. All right. And later on in the video, he does talk about, Jesse and Jeff, meaning Jesse Milestone and Jeff from World Class Bullshitters, and them being booted out of the party, the Friday Night Tights party that was being held in Las Vegas. I honestly don't know why Jesse thought that would be a good place to go, because I mean, this was following the fallout with Gary. This is following all that stuff. It kind of made, calling out Tom for Midnight's Edge, all those things. And it definitely was like, all right, yeah, you're not like, if I got into it, like I wouldn't go to someone's party who I knew didn't like me. If I go to a party, and I've gone to like VidCon parties where there were people that didn't like me and I didn't like them, and that is just the way it works out. But that's not, again, it was like mutual territory.
Well, they're obviously doing a shift towards the Crowder and the more political, especially with you've noticed the change. You're the one that highlighted the change, and he's gone more extreme with his language, Gary.
Yeah.
And they want to have a bigger platform, so they're cozying up with those people, and they don't want to bring anyone that's going to get them canceled for something stupid with them. They're cutting people off.
Well, they are, because I don't know if it's all about going legit. I've heard certain things here, certain things there. It really just depends on kind of who you talk to. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because just the fact that Rob is calling them out, but he's basically saying like rules for thee, but not for me. They'll bring on someone like Alex Jones, who has, gone after the family, by questioning the events of Sandy Hook, to the point of where one of the parents of one child, the surviving parents, I should say, they've had to change their name or change their address, change their number, move a bunch of times because this one woman in Florida became so obsessed that it was all a false flag that she kept tracking them down and harassing them. And she was eventually charged with this, with harassment, and ordered by a judge to never interact with InfoWars ever again, because that's how bad it got. Not only, though, is Alex Jones still currently in a legal situation involving the Sandy Hook, which case he is going to be royally fucked. But back in 2016, he was a heavy proponent of Pizzagate. That was until James Alefantis, the owner of Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria, filed a claim against him, and they settled out of court. But one of the I don't know to the what amount they had to, and Alex Jones had to issue a public apology and say that there was no child sex slave dungeon underneath Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria, which still is a narrative 5 years later. It's still a narrative that there was something going on in the pizzeria when there has been zero proof, even after a guy who was incensed by watching InfoWars coverage at the time went in there in December of 2016 and opened fire in order to clear the place out to try to rescue children he believed was in a child sex dungeon underneath the restaurant. Not only that, but again, a month later in 2017, Alex Jones had to issue another correction and another apology because he had said that in Twin Falls, Idaho, which is where the home plant is, or like the home office is for Chobani Yogurt, the owner of Chobani Yogurt had hired a lot of Middle Eastern refugees, and Alex Jones had made the claim that they were more or less thieves and rapists. And this was, and that ended up getting the attention of the owner of Chobani, who then filed also a claim. And Alex Jones, a month after saying he was sorry for for Comet Ping Pong, had to come out and say that he was sorry for the things that he said about Chobani. Alex Jones has argued that he is not, that he says things, that he's an idiot, that he's retarded, his own words on the Joe Rogan podcast. This person has said abhorrent things.
Yeah.
And the kind of people and then getting him on that show is clearly showing problems within people in that community, whether or not they are as closely associated at one point as Rob was. But I've seen other people that identify as Fandom Menace that are very much like, I'm not too sure about this. Even the quartering today, for example, I heard the quartering on a live stream this
really?
afternoon. Yes, he was on a live stream with V. I forgot I was subscribed to V and that he happened to be talking to them. And the quartering even said that there would be no way in hell he would do a live stream with Alex Jones on his channel, because why would he dare put into question or potentially damage his source of income?
Well, I think they're going to do on their erotics live to get that channel like way to get their then just to have a live stream channel. I think it's a stunt to really, if it doesn't implode, that'll be because I don't think they're going to do on the main. I'll be shocked if he does it on the main channel. But the other thing is he mainly behaves when he's on other people's show for the most part. He doesn't say his craziest stuff. So what are they going to do? Take it down if he doesn't say anything, like just because he's there?
It has a lot to do. No, it's like, I don't think they're going to do it on the live stream channel because they want the largest audience of people. Right. So that's kind of the whole point is, but you can start to see that there are people out there that are recognizing that this is a bad idea, and whatever happens tomorrow night.
Well, say if the channel gets shut down, it's going to be an absolute shit show of stand.
Oh yeah.
They're going to grift on that so hard. I mean, either way, they're going to capitalize on something.
Well, like I said last night, I fervently believe that that's the goal. That deep down, it's like, if I get yeeted, I can then use this as a way to drive people to an alternative platform, and then put in a subscription fee, which is then a more sustainable model than AdSense revenue or channel members or things like that, because YouTube does take that 30% of channel membership or super chats or whatever. If you can move away from that and have it be on another platform, or complete with something else, there's a higher monetary gain. And you've got the victim card. Again, I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know if they've thought this thing through, but clearly they are planning on this being something that will break the internet.
There's an interesting thing too, is that Jeremy got it because he said he called me, and then he set it up for the Friday Night Tights, not Geeks and Gamers too. They did it for the Friday Night Tights show.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to just do Friday Night Tights channel and build it up from nothing. I don't know.
I don't know that. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they plan on doing with it. I don't know. I don't have any insight in that. All I'm saying is we are starting to see that there might be, look, the fandom menace, all things considered, has been reaching this boiling point for a while. I know that the people involved don't want to claim fandom menace. The Jeremy says, I'm no longer a part of it, yet he still repeats the same talking points and he still behaves in the exact same way. Here's the thing, you can only put so much lipstick on a pig, right? It's the same argument. It's the same content. It's all boring. They're boring individuals to listen to because it's nothing new. It's just the same script, different target. That's it. So they want to move away because they've had a couple black eyes. They've gotten tagged in the media a little bit. They've gotten all this stuff. And I'm like, do you really think that you're going to walk away from this? Do you really think that people out there who don't like you are going to end up not cataloging everything you say and do? I mean, it's not that difficult. They don't hide any of this stuff. Any journalist, the Daily Beast, could come on in and write a hit piece on the fandom menace. And that rewriting Ripley article from a few months ago, they all lost their minds over, had a lot of cataloged material. And it'd be very easy for a journalist to put that into something with a much larger reach, one that would get the attention of the higher ups at YouTube in order to, maybe see them react. This is where it's been going for a while. It's going to hit that eventual point where Chewbacca kicks in. And by bringing on Alex Jones, I mean, I made this as a joke just the other day. I think I deleted it accidentally, son of a bitch. But I had that Chewbacca thing up there. And even that was meant to be more of a joke. But what we're seeing now is something that appears to be perhaps a little bit more on the realistic side of things. Maybe they'll want to license this design and turn that into their new logo. I don't know. But that's really what I just wanted to touch base on, that because what we're seeing here is I don't want to say it's the beginning of the end. I'm not trying to make any bold proclamations, but obviously the Simu Liu situation, the doubling down on that, the Alex Jones thing is going to put a spotlight on them that they may not want.
I think it's the way they want to go. They're going to do the right grift circuit on YouTube, but people are still on YouTube. Collabs with them.
Maybe.
Crowder, is Crowder still on YouTube?
Crowder's on YouTube. Yeah, he lost monetization for a while, but I think he got it back. But he was able to parlay that into Mug Club memberships, which is $100 a year. So, and he has I think 7 million, I remember when Steven Crowder had 60,000 subs is when I first encountered the guy. And now he's got 7 million because he's been able to play that grifter game really well. And he's got the backing of Blaze Media. So because he's an employee of Glenn Beck. And so that's something there to consider. You got to start following the money of where these people work for.
Now, if he would never say it, but if he ever wanted to come on my show, I would not have Alex Jones because he's disgusting for things he's done. And people would say he's funny. I get the comedy angle, but the problem is many people say, quote, "Oh, I watch him for the comedic value." Half of those people are bullshit, and they actually believe the stuff he says. That Eric guy that usually was showing up, he was in my comment section, said he believed the frog thing.
Yeah. It's the frog thing was proven to be somewhat true.
What?
Yeah, it was it was a French study had shown that a certain chemical being released into into the wild has the ability to kind of turn frogs to turn them a different gender or something.
I'm out of here.
I'm just saying, yeah. That happened a couple years ago.
Well, so Eric was right, kind of.
I mean, it was one of those things where it's it kind of happened like that. Unfortunately, whoopsie daisy. We'll have to wait and see what's going to be going on.
With all says what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Sargon of Akkad actually did a video on it, and that's what got Alex Jones to pay attention to Sargon of Akkad, and that's why Sargon has actually been on InfoWars a couple times. There was a couple years ago where Sargon was making the media rounds. He went out to, he lives in London. He went out to Austin, Texas. He was on InfoWars. I think he was doing a job interview, right? How would you work well here sort of thing. And then he also worked with Steve Bannon and ran for political, dude, the whole Sargon saga is insane. At one point, Sargon was trying to convince people that it would be a good idea if I went on Tucker Carlson to explain Gamergate. I am not making that up. That was from November 2018. And you know what I said to that? Yes. I said yes. But not because I like Tucker. I hate that guy. But I mean, I want the idea of Gamergate, of what people think Gamergate was in the beginning isn't what it was at the end. And I want to kind of argue that point, but yeah, but no, I mean, it's crazy shit, dude. The whole thing is crazy stuff. But that being said, that's kind of where I'm at with that thing. Let's take a quick look here. Command Unit with a $5 super chat. Thank you, buddy. 40K and Warhammer have been in the mainstream with UK for a while, mostly because of the book publishing arms at Games Workshop called Black Library. Oh, okay, cool. I did not know that. Andrew Dunbar here says, going to a party with someone who doesn't like you is awesome. Yes, you hate me, but fuck you, I'm eating your chips. Pretty much, man. Pretty damn much.
Chips. Okay, wait. Who said that super chat?
That was Andrew Dunbar.
And don't invite Andrew if you have limited chips for your party.
Yeah, no. Sorry. Chips. He says here, he's like, "Am I to double dip? I am totally double dipping."
Oh, you're the double dipper at the party.
You're the double dipper, man. And then H Bards here says, Alex Jones. Matt Jarbo is a intergalactic can of beans. That's the terrible Alex Jones. I can't do it right, but yeah, I mean the whole thing with this is just it's going to get wild to see what happens. Tony here asking would I still go on Tucker Carlson? No, I wouldn't go on Tucker Carlson now. I would not go on that at all. And then McLeod here says I meant to say that I don't believe you were attacking. Sorry, it's okay, man. Sometimes super chats are it's crazy. I wasn't attacking anybody, but thank you for backing up your point. Classy Ulysses asks, who is Alex Jones? You know what, man? I think you're okay. If you don't know, it's okay. So it's okay. So Drake here says the thing with the frogs is that it's a chemical from factories that causes frogs to have elevated levels of estrogen to the point where they could totally change sex. Isn't that what happened in Jurassic Park? Right? Like the whole life finds a way argument from Dr. Ian Malcolm, because they used frog DNA to splice with the dinosaurs in order to, do the cloning. And then they were all females, but then frogs totally like transitioned complete with reproductive organs, and then were able to like impregnate other dinosaurs and brown chicken, brown cow their whole way through the island. Fucking love science, man. Anyway, there we go on that one. But all right. So why don't we? I don't know if Hal. I know you said you had to bail out after like 20, 30 minutes. It's been about 40.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you. Well, I don't know if you. I don't know if you
We could start the Matrix stuff.
Okay, yeah. Let me bring up the Matrix. I gotta say though, like I really enjoyed the Matrix trailer today. I woke up this morning and at like 7:30, and I was like, all right, I gotta go and check this thing out. And my girlfriend's like, can you go print something? I'm like, yeah, totally, babe. I'm gonna totally go print this thing and not be in the room with my headphones on watching the Matrix trailer on repeat. And then I did. So anyway, the Matrix trailer is one that we've been waiting for. And I'm just gonna play it. I don't care if Warner's gives me a content claim. I'll just fight it. But I thought it'd be pretty interesting to just look at it and react with it with you guys. So let's see what you guys have to think about this.
Thomas, you seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
He's an SJW.
Dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
I have a theory.
All right, you hold on.
Hi.
Have we met?
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
And if you go chasing rabbits,
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to fly me.
and you're going to fall.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me. No?
Damn.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
That just looks cool. Like, I mean, that just looks like fucking amazing. I just like it just
Yeah.
so good. I know people like I saw your stream earlier and somebody like I'm like whatever, dude. It's the fucking Matrix. But there are things to consider. There are clues in this that I was just noticing while watching, right? So it's like this scene here. I mean, obviously the black cat. The black cat is clearly meant to indicate deja vu. All right. But then you got him, he's sitting there talking to Neil Patrick Harris right now. Hold on. Let's get an actual shot of Neil Patrick Harris's face. Well, first off, that's just cool too. Him like walking and like, this is probably when he takes the red pill. This is probably what happens when he takes the red pill and he's like walking and it kicks in and he starts seeing the Matrix for the first time. Is probably what it is. But when you get to, again, all that stuff looks pretty badass right there. Okay, well, hold on. There's an up close shot of his face here in a second because it's important. Pay attention. What color are his glasses?
Blue.
Exactly. And what does Keanu keep taking?
Blue pill.
Blue pill. So obviously this is a construct. I have a feeling he's like maybe the new architect or something like that. He's going to play a bigger role than just a therapist, right? So obviously there is something going on with Neo or now Mr. Anderson, and he is just, he's on the blue pill. But look for things that are like, okay, so you said you had a theory about the rubber duck.
Well, I watched other people's videos where the duck, rubber ducky, is something with programmers. Like they use it as like a device to say if you can explain it to rubber duck, like a thing like that so simple. That's how you need to write code or something. I don't know. I didn't totally understand that, but that's something.
I've heard something. Hold on. Let me look this up here. Rubber
and coders.
Duck coding. All right. So a rubber that's called rubber duck debugging.
Yeah.
In software engineer, rubber duck debugging is the method of debugging code. And so, all right. So it says here, by forcing themselves to explain it line by line to the duck. Okay. So basically it's just like, can they explain it to them? Now it says here, many programmers have had the experience of explaining a problem to somebody else, possibly even to someone who knows nothing about programming, and then hitting upon the solution in the process of explaining the problem. And describing what the code is supposed to do and the observing of what it actually does, any incongruity between the two becomes apparent. More generally, teaching a subject forces its evaluation from different perspectives and can provide a deeper understanding. By using an inanimate object, the programmer can try to accomplish this without having to interrupt anyone else. So it's entirely possible that what we're looking at here is something very similar to that. But what the duck could represent is Thomas Anderson's only friend. Right? Like that's something that you could think of. But it is, that's something there to consider, that it would potentially be something he's explaining his thought process to. Maybe he can't figure out what it is. Remember, he was a coder. He did hacking, right? In the first movie. He did work an office job, but he was a hacker, known as Neo. That's how they first found him. So that could be something in relation to that. We don't know yet. We don't know if he is a programmer and the duck is just something that they brought in. But this right here is automatically meme worthy in the moment. So people out there have really been making memes out of that. Let's keep going here. So then, he meets Trinity for the first time. Good to see Carrie Ann Moss again. Now, I was wondering if there's anything up with their bracelet, if that bracelet is significant to something. Like maybe a chain, because it looks like something that's threaded. I'm not too sure. So I don't know, but that's something I have to kind of go back to. There's a lot of people doing a lot of those kind of videos. But then look at the blue pill here, and he's got like blue lighting on everything, the blue shirt. So blue is playing the whole point, right? So everything like right here is going to be him when he is on the red pill, because this is him seeing it for the first time as well. Because I think this is when we're going to see color. Because otherwise he's been kind of subdued, right? Like here, like he looks around, everyone's on their tablet. And he's dumping out the pills because he's like, I don't need these anymore. So again, we're kind of getting a little bit of it. The Alice in Wonderland reference, obviously, but this is Sadi. This is the little girl that was with the Oracle in the Matrix Revolution.
The actual actress?
I don't know if it's the actual actress, but it's meant to be her. And she was becoming, if I recall, I got to go back and watch it again. It's been so long, but if I recall, wasn't she like the new Oracle? Basically. So that's kind of what I think is going to be, so she's clearly showing him something, in a way that he's gonna. Because again, look at the orange. The color grading gives you an idea of what's going on. And then that shot there of him. I think this was his reflection before taking the pill. I think that was his reflection before taking the pill. And so he takes the pill and then he sees himself. But then we got whoever, is this Morpheus? Is Morpheus' son? We don't know. But obviously, showing us everything about it. I mean, look, the white rabbit, that might be going into the club, or we don't know who has the tattoo. But, oh no, I think it's her. And this is the one, Jessica Henwick has been the one you've been talking about.
Yeah, I think she's going to be the star of the next trilogy.
But look at her hair.
Blue.
Her hair is, and it's the same color blue as the glasses and the pills. So either that is meant to be a subconscious tick that we're going to pick up on, or it is a tell that that she is actually a bad guy. How much you want to bet she is it could potentially be that she is either the new Cypher or she is an agent.
I had something else for my villain.
Who's your villain?
The young Morpheus.
Okay.
I think that'd be more interesting than Agent Smith. I also have, my theory is that resurrection just means the Matrix is resurrected. And Trinity and Neo are not alive. They're just used by the machines, their body and memories, to hack into to make a more interesting new Matrix. The architect said we've done the one before that people didn't accept. So they're like playing their roles like the original Matrix, but they're in this, and that also is why they're old and the Morpheus is young Morpheus.
It's possible. I mean,
because he didn't die.
Yeah,
and she has the coolest action sequences in the film too. I think it's like a handoff. I don't know if Keanu is going to be in the next one, or maybe they have to go into the Matrix to talk to them. Like they only live within the Matrix.
I don't know. Real quick, as a side thing, I'm just kind of curious if we end up getting it is possible that that the stream might be temporarily blocked because I just got this warning from YouTube. We've detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. So if there's any disruptions, let me know. That way, we know. So yeah, it's possible. Let's keep going. So I mean, obviously, she's gonna. Off. Yeah, I have the sound off on purpose.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, look, there's whatever's happening here is whatever is with the new resistance, so to speak. But looking at the code on Trinity here, right? We can see the code in there, in her right there. You see the code on Trinity.
I didn't see that before.
So yeah, so I don't know if this is in a simulation or what this might be, or if this might be his memories.
That's all that's left of them.
Maybe. It's maybe because I mean at the end of the movie, he did have the burn marks on his eyes in the third one. So I mean, obviously here we're getting a call back to the fight scene between the two of them, which is great. So yeah, it's possible that he is playing Morpheus. Just to correct you from earlier, you said that Yaha Madul Abdeen 2 is was in Lovecraft Country. You're thinking Watchmen.
Oh, that's right. I am.
So
yeah, you're right.
I heard that earlier today. So we get a bit more of the humans and pods, but they are being grown, so they could be cloned. We also don't know how long it was in between the Matrix Revolutions and the Matrix Resurrections. So hopefully they give us some detail. Now, oh shit. Hate when I do that. Okay. Now my question then becomes, is that, well, you can't see it, but is that like a new ship? It's not the Nebuchadnezzar. I think that got blown up in the third one. But here, I mean, clearly, I love that seeing the agent. Now that guy right there, the guy at the end there holding the gun, that was Jonathan Groff, who was at the end of the trailer. So I don't know what that whole thing was, but that's very reminiscent to the scene in the first Matrix when like Neo was captured and like the water's coming down and everything else. I mean, visually it looks, wait, what the hell? Okay, hold on. Here, check this out, right? Look at this here. They're going through whatever is going to end up being their ability to travel through, because remember they had like the payphone, and that's how they got out of the Matrix. clearly in this one, they're going to be doing something with the mirrors. The mirrors are going to allow them to kind of like act as like a Stargate sort of thing. Because if you look at it here, this is nighttime in what appears to be a club, and then they fired off a rocket, and it goes through, and then it goes through this door, which looks like there's like a bathroom with a mirror or whatever, and they're on the train, and now they're completely in daytime in someplace else entirely, and it hits the train. So obviously, now hold on, what did it say? What did that say back there? Okay, whatever it. I think that says it's not Deutschland, but whatever is going to be on the wall. Notice how the green lettering.
Yeah. It would also make sense if him and Trinity only exist within the Matrix, that they're using their powers like that in there, and there's no other clips of them. I don't know. I guess he used his powers most in the Matrix before too. He did very little outside of it, huh?
Well, we don't know. But
there's no real scenes where he looks any different.
No. Well, there is a shot where you do see him, I think, with shaved head. We do know that he shaved his head and his beard for the movie. We do know that. So he's something going on there. So this is
jump is pretty funny.
Yeah, I know. It's all slow-mo, but
I'd like to do a mashup of all his jumps and John Wick and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, this shot right here is clearly Trinity in the pod, but it's full-grown Trinity. So I think it's like I think they grew a new Trinity. I think she's a clone because remember they were grown, and when they die, their bodies are liquefied, and that ends up becoming the nourishment for everybody else. But if they have the ability to grow people, at the end, the machines got their bodies.
Yeah, were the bodies like demolished, or did they have? They were just
no, they
dead?
literally when as Trinity dies from getting impaled on the ship, trying to get Neo to the last fight with Anderson.
I think they just hooked them up, and they're not.
It's possible. It's possible that they revived them.
Because I was thinking it's like circuitry going through their body, and it's not. They're not actually alive, really.
Maybe there's a lot of interesting things there.
But they did. It doesn't look like the normal pod thing, though.
Yeah. Now this is interesting because she's yelling, and it doesn't look like her in some of those shots. So, I now what that means to me.
The one to the second to the left almost looks like the other actress.
Yeah. So it's like I'm wondering if Trinity is an agent. Look, there's going to be some kind of double cross. Yeah. All right. There's always some kind of twist. What if Trinity is an agent? Because this looks like the type of situation where it's like she is either fighting a transition or she is, whatever the agents had, but they're upgraded where they have like sonic ability. I don't know. Either way, it feels like the scene when the agent took over a body. I don't quite know yet. We'll just have to see. But they, this is just cool. That does look really cool and shit. But like, look at this here, like cutting through the doors. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good action.
Now, coolest action.
But like, well, that looks like Inception type shit right there, which is great. And then you've got whatever, if Yaha here dressed as an agent. So what I'm wondering was like he infiltrating the agents and everything else, because he's got their sunglasses, but it looks like he's also got his glasses on underneath, and we haven't seen him without his glasses. So I'm just wondering if that's something there that's going to be a thing. I don't know yet. And then
do you think they're working together, or
no? I think I don't know what's going to be happening with this necessarily. I mean, all I know is that just the action is going to be fucking insane. And I mean, right there, like that jump.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think we got busted. Let me see here.
Again?
Let me see if you guys, because it says here, error, your stream has been temporarily blocked. We detected copyrighted audio and video. But I don't see the chat saying anything. If is it still on the screen? The screen?
No, they say rip.
Okay. I got it. Well, we got to the end of it anyway. All right. Okay.
Well, my tactic worked then, even though you didn't want to do it. I didn't get anything at all.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We watched the whole trailer. I don't quite know. Yeah, stream drop. Jason just messaged me. All right, we should be back. We should be back up now. Just wait it out. Yeah, I haven't been suspended. Stream was shit canned. All right, we should be back up. Tell everyone to refresh.
Okay.
Let's see here. I just typed it in the chat. It should be good. That's funny. That's really funny.
Well, my method works good.
Stream suspended for. Wait, hold on here. Like it should be.
Oh, it's done.
It's telling me that it's like there's nothing on the screen. Like it's not. It's
do a new stream.
It did it before. Man, that's fucking insane.
Well, I know it doesn't look great, but you didn't want to do my thing. That thing I
Well,
sent you.
I didn't get it in time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I literally just got it here. Hold on here. Hold on. It might be that I just let me see here. All right, live stream.
I'm gonna tell them I have to do a new one. I'll tell them.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I gotta go to bed anyway. Darn it.
It's so fucking funny.
Oh, great, Callie. Shut up.
All right. All right, I'm going to end it. Are you going to jump back in?
Wait a second. It says live now.
Okay, are we live now? It just boots you off for okay. It's telling me that there's nothing there. Oh, it moved me into a different. That's so weird. It put me into a different thing. All right. That is really funny. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me get back into what I need to get into here. That is. Oh, geez. It. I guess it still says that it's live. All right, cool. You know what? Go ahead and if you thought that was funny, go ahead and like smash the like. That was pretty good. Okay. It's yawn. Good. We're back up. All right. Yes. Yes, folks.
I was about to go tell people we're have to start a new stream, and then I was like, "Oh, it still says live," and I'll check it. Yeah,
it just cuts you off for like a couple minutes. You know, I mean, I get it. Fine. That is some crazy shit right there. That is nuts. This is why, like, you literally cannot watch stuff. Like, honest to God,
well,
I'm sorry.
I figured out a method. It might be boring, but you do.
Well, it's not boring. It's not boring. It just doesn't like necessarily. It may or may not work. I don't know.
There's Mikey.
What do we got here?
Mikey, you want to come on? Because I'm leaving.
Warner Troopers. He's only got a half hour left, and I'm just gonna go through the rest of it and probably maybe take a call or something like that. So, yeah, what about my glorious, hilarious super chats? I got to go back and find them because the chat moved too fast and I lost them. Momoon here says, thank you, buddy. Talk to Susan for you, Mr. Charbo. You're welcome. Thank you. Connor here says that automated system. I know it's really bad. Well, I think it was because like I showed too much. So that's kind of the problem with watching this stuff. Honestly, guys, I just got to stop like reacting to like new trailers or whatever. It's ridiculous. This is terrible shit.
The whole trailer on my show.
Yeah. Well, we did the first trailer and it was fine. I think it's because I showed it again. They're like, you get like the one strike, like the one warning that they don't even tell you. It's literally like if you're on StreamYard and you're not in that section of the YouTube dashboard, you're not going to see it because you get no notification. So it's possible when you showed the trailer, you got it, but you only showed it the one time. And then that was it. But we watched the trailer and then we went through it again and they were like, no, you guys, you're doing it too much.
My notification says no, nothing.
I don't know. Maybe. Commander in here says Neo will be an agent and will defend the Matrix. Probably. But
Well, I should
yeah. Go ahead and take Callie out. Go to bed, man.
All right. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone. Oh, God. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much, Max. With Callie, always, always finding the right way to you know, what's the word here? Make noise. I don't know. So, okay, hold on. McLeod here says, what truly offends me, people with who is the Asperger's, is when Asperger's people act like assholes and want to know what they're doing and then try to play the victim and use it as an excuse, i.e. Elon Musk and SNL. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, I got to go find the super chats, man. Give me a second. I'll go find the super chats. Don't worry. I there were a bunch that came in. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So let's see here. What I'm going to do is what else do I got to go through here? There's a couple things I wanted to get through. Well, I'm definitely not going to show that, but I have a screenshot we'll talk about. Anthony, I'm not doing Collins, man. I might bring on one other person, but I'm not doing standard Collins tonight. So, and here's the thing. Unless I say I'm doing Collins, I'm not doing Collins. So I understand you want me to let you call in, but I'm not doing them, you know, maybe tomorrow, depending on what happens. I don't know yet, but no. So anyway, let's, all right, let me go, and I got to go out to the page. Okay. It's all a mess, guys. It's all an absolute mess. All right. Let's get to the supers here. So where do we cut off at here? All right. I'm trying to find it there. Okay. So Andrew Dunbar says here, $5. Thank you, buddy. He says Michael Crichton wrote 2 different screenplays based on the premise of an amusement park's rides or what have you, breaking and killing the patrons. So kind of like a Westworld approach, right? Which makes sense, but having it be about Jurassic, you know, dinosaurs coming back and killing people, that's pretty fantastic. And then, another $5 from Andrew says, there is big money in that premise. Apparently, come to think about it, Cabin in the Woods could have used that premise as well. Yeah, Cabin in the Woods could have easily used that premise. It would have been pretty awesome. I think Cabin in the Woods is a highly underrated film, and I just would love to spend more time in that world and more time in that basement with what comes out of that, especially the Cloverfield references there. Command here says Daily Dose, Necromunda hired gun trailers. You know, yeah, man, listen, I will, I'll keep that up for maybe like later. I'm not going to show anything else tonight. I'm sorry. Just with what's going on right now. I just don't want to like risk, shit getting hit. So, because, you know, so the 40K has been pretty decent so far, but at the same time, it's like, it's not worth the risk. But you know, I don't want to push my luck too much. Andrew here with another $5, man. Thank you. Says, does anyone remember how mind blowing The Matrix on DVD was at the time of release? Explain it to the young ones, Jarno. Yeah. The Matrix was pretty insane back in the day. Like when that hit home video, I remember in VHS, everyone had it. The fall of 99, the DVD was pretty big. People loved it. They had a lot of cool menus and stuff. One of the things that really sucks though, is the copyright protection system on these discs. It's so difficult to get access to the menus, to be able to like get high quality access to the menus, because sometimes there's some really cool things in those menus, like little Easter eggs or little whatever, the menus that they put together, but those are blocked by everything. So I have no idea how to gain access to that, because I would love to review 4Ks and actually review DVDs and review the menu system as well, because a lot of times that's just interesting stuff. They don't have it here. All right. Thank you. Rational Skeptic here with $5 says Morpheus dies in The Matrix Online, which is canon. So you guys should read it more on The Matrix Online story before watching this film. Oh, okay. I will do that. Maybe we'll have to do a Matrix, lore stream and just go through the whole thing. Thank you, man. Ryan Hartwell here says, for $5, thank you, buddy. I really enjoyed your Ronald McDonald video you made. You should talk about the Action Park as your next topic in Stranger Days. I know about Action Park. I know it, like the kind of the general story, and I know there's the movie. I'll look into it. And see what's there. I want to kind of cover a wide variety of topics when that thing goes down. All right. And then, H Bart's here. $2, buddy. Thank you very much. It says Neo is John Wick. John Wick is Keanu. That sounds about right. Thank you. And then Command Unit here says Neo will be an agent, defend the Matrix. All right. We are caught up on that one, unless some new ones have come in and I haven't seen them yet, which is entirely possible. Nope. It looks like we're good on that front. Awesome sauce. Okay. Whew. Bite Me here says DVD is way better than the boring 4K menu. So some of them are, like the 4K menu for like the Goonies is pretty terrible. Spherical Man. Thank you. Are all 3 available on HBO Max, referring to the Matrix movies? Have they been taken off and are streaming elsewhere? I think they are back up on there. I think they're back. I know they keep leaving and they keep coming back. And that's the biggest damn problem with HBO Max right now. So it's just a big issue with that shit. I really dislike it, but it's unfortunately just the way that the cookie crumbled at this point in time. So, okay. WNG here fan says, I don't buy DVD anymore. No one really does. No, well, actually, I can't say that. Actually, right now it still has like 60% of the market. So a lot of people buy DVD, by the way. A lot of people. Gaylord here says, I'm excited to talk to you. I sent you the link, man, and we'll talk about whatever I get. The last subject I think I've got is the Halloween thing, because there was an interesting little bit with that too, where it looks like, this Halloween situation, I'll just talk about it. So the Halloween kill situation is really, really fascinating, because right now they did something almost kind of unheard of, and that is they put it on Peacock and theaters in the same day. They're doing day and date for Halloween Kills, which is, I don't want to say unheard of, because Disney's been doing it. Other movies have been doing it for over a year now, obviously. But the bigger factor in my mind has everything to do with the fact that it's like Halloween Kills was heavily anticipated. So what exactly is going on with this right now that's going to push it towards this kind of place? What would force them to do it? And I think I know the answer to that, but let's take a look here at the information. So Halloween Kills is the upcoming entry in Universal's slasher franchise that will debut on Peacock the same day as its theatrical release. Starring Jamie Lee Curtis as the avenging teen babysitter turned grandmother. Halloween Kills is scheduled to debut on October 15th. The scary sequel will be available to Peacock premium subscribers for no extra fee. That is $4.99 a month for its ad-supported tier, or $9.99 for without advertisements. And I think the $9.99 is going to be the premium premiere bit there. Now, this is the thing with that as well, is recently they did this with Boss Baby, the family business, over the summer. And Boss Baby, as far as I know, did not have an expiration date being on Peacock, unlike HBO Max. And that still did $57 million at the domestic box office and $48 million internationally, which really isn't that bad. That really isn't that bad at all. And so it's kind of like, but it's still the last Boss Baby did $352 million overseas. But I think it did well enough. Now, Halloween from 2018, it actually generated $255 million globally, making it the highest grossing slasher film in the history for right now. And I love this here. Unadjusted for inflation. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, right? Because that's not a thing. Adjusted for inflation is not a thing. We spent an hour last night talking about why that's not a thing. Gotta love Variety backing me up here. Thank you guys. They must have seen the video. They knew what they were talking about. We're on the same page. I'm kidding. But obviously, Halloween Kills is something that they feel at this point that they need to kind of maybe, I don't know, figure out how to get around. And look, so, all right, here's why I think a couple different things. Let me see if I can find the page here. Okay, there it is. All right. So I really hate going here, but obviously this is a metric everyone uses. And that, of course, is Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Rotten Tomatoes here has the first reactions, the early reviews coming out of the Venice Film Festival. And this is something that I think that with that information coming out today and then this announcement happening, I think they're kind of together. According to the 16 reviews that are up on Rotten Tomato right now, the movie is sitting at 56%. It's very, very divisive just based off of those 16 reviews. This movie is like an all-out slasher mayhem film. If you've watched the trailer, it's like Michael Myers is like, I'm going for the highest body count. He's going to kill everyone and anyone who gets in his way. It doesn't even matter. That's going to be the thing. So obviously the 56% matters here because it's like, look, just looking at some of the comments here, you got Philip the Semelian from Time Out saying it all feels so rote and old school, especially during such an exciting era for the genre. It's a fucking slasher movie, dude. What do you expect? You've got Ben Kroll here from IndieWire says an almost elemental slasher outing unclouded by conscious remorse or delusions of morality. Like I said, he kills everyone in this movie. No one is safe. If you watch the trailer, it looks like he is going to bludgeon everybody to death. David Rooney here, Hollywood Reporter, says the latest installment is like a latex school mask so stretched and shapeless it no longer fits. And that might have something to do ultimately with the whole franchise. The whole franchise itself being in this weird situation to where it's like it's been around since 1978. It's I love the franchise. It's had so many iterations, a lot of reboots, a lot of continuations, and it just kind of ends up being this franchise that doesn't really feel like it kind of has a place outside of its genre, outside of where the genre fans are. But check this out. This is a collection of all of the Halloween Rotten Tomatoes scores that are coming in from Rotten Tomatoes. And look here, look, it's kind of isn't there kind of a little bit of a connection here? At any point in time, have we seen a solid response? The answer to that is no. Now, the 2018 movie isn't listed on here, but all the other ones are. And critics really don't like it. But again, it's not that many critics. We got Halloween 3, 27, Halloween 4, 28, Halloween 5, 25, Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers, 35, H2O, 61, Halloween 2 from 2009 is 80, Halloween from 2007 is 118. I mean, like more and more people have reviewed it, obviously, as time has gone on. But still, critics really don't seem to like this franchise. And the audience score here really isn't that great either. Like Halloween from 2007, I thought would have a higher audience score. That was the previous the previous pre-pandemic Labor Day weekend holder for the highest gross. And I think that, I thought it had a higher score. I saw it a couple times in theaters. I actually really liked it. Halloween 2, though, the other Rob Zombie one, that was terrible. But it goes to show you that right now, the franchise has always kind of lived in this area, but the longevity of it comes from the fans. The longevity of it comes absolutely from the fan base that's kept it going and things like that. Resident Justice here says the mixed reviews for Halloween Kills probably didn't help. I don't think they are ultimately confident that the majority of the general audience will come out loving this so much that the buzz will be great. Probably not. But the thing is that you've got a situation where they probably weren't going to make the money. And they probably did that in part because of Venom. Venom moved itself up 2 weeks. But they probably were making this deal thinking that Venom was going to challenge them on the opening weekend. And they weren't going to win against Venom because of the success of Shang-Chi. So they probably also thought to themselves, all right, let's bounce it out to the theaters. We'll take whatever money we can get from genre fans, and we'll get some people who are going to spend $10 a month to head on over to Peacock in order to get their hands on this movie. But the biggest problem, though, is, again, piracy is going to be a very massive thing. And this pristine 4K copy that's going to be coming out when the damn thing hits the internet in a couple weeks is really going to show you, like, things like that. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But obviously, I think it's going to be really fascinating. As always, I do want to hear what you guys have to say about this because it's interesting. So let me answer some super chats real quick, and then I'm going to bring in my guest. So I do appreciate Gailey Productions holding on a second. HBAR's here with $5, man. Says Elmo's girlfriend still watches Lord of the Rings standards on DVD on a 4K TV. I said, that's sad. I'm not trying to diss Elmo's girlfriend, but yeah, man, that's pretty. Why would you watch Lord of the Ring standard, not extended, on DVD on a 4K TV? Is it at least with a 4K like DVD player? Because otherwise it's going to look like pure shit. Because 4K doesn't scale down very well unless you use a 4K player. So that's pretty sad. Taylor here says, I still buy some DVDs. I know you do. You send me pictures of them. So I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. Andrew Dunbar here, $10, buddy. Thank you. Says, in World War II, the U.S. Army tried resupplying mules to the units in the field by parachute. They wrapped cargo nets around a mule's middle and attached a parachute that pushed them out of planes. It didn't work. Okay. I guess that's the story to talk about. Andrew here saying the mules died before they hit the ground. Sad. I'm not laughing at the death of mules. I'm not laughing at all at the death of mules. That is very tragic. But okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Hold on. Elmo here says it's not even 4K. You guys, man. You guys, what is this? What is this? And then okay, we got all right. I'm just trying to catch up on the super chats because there's a few of them here. All right, we got HBards here with another 2 bonus. Thank you, buddy. Says I want Michael to take off the mask and speak. So do I. And then Elmo here says I want Michael to take off his mask and just bark. That was good. that was really good. All right, so what is this? The AMBW channel here, $5 man, says soon, Matt. It will be time for you to eat some beans. I had Mexican for dinner. Does that count? Does that count? I think that counts for me. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's bring in the non-Kino film. I can't see what the rest of your thing says.
Film buff.
Film buff. All right, man. So how's it going? I know you've been wanting to get on for a while.
I'm doing pretty damn good, man. I mean, I'm actually like on a stream here. I didn't think this would actually happen, but here I am, man. I guess all good things come to those who wait. So yeah, man, how you doing?
Today's been pretty interesting. Not too thrilled about the stream getting yeeted for a couple minutes. That wasn't my favorite part of the day. Yeah. I mean, no, that's all right. That's all right. These things happen. You know, it's gotten absolutely crazier in regards to how YouTube handles all that, like with the content ID stuff. So yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. I'm still here, and I'm very thankful for the audience. So
you guys want me to introduce myself? Like, what do you want to know stuff about me, or do you just want to, you know?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, so I guess because I mean, I know you've been wanting to come on. You wanted me to come on your channel or talk to you.
Totally.
But I guess it's like, so like, what's up?
Oh, I just wanted to come on here to say hello, you know, because you seem like a very open person, and I really love your content. And I think you do a lot of respectable things, especially with the Phantom Menace stuff there. And you're just very passionate about movies in a non-cynical way. Like, I get a lot of that because, like, the thing about me is that I'm actually kind of both worlds. I'm in the blockbuster sector of it, and I'm also in the indie sector as well because I'm kind of a fan of both of them. Like, I've seen like around 70 movies this year, and I talked to like a bunch of people in industry as well. Like, you're probably gonna cringe at this, but I've actually done a couple of interviews with Scott Mendelson of Forbes and Dom Griffin, and I'm actually doing a other interview with Griffin Schiller from FilmSpeak. He actually made his own channel, and it's actually, I think, at around 100 subscribers. No, it's not 100. I mean, 100,000 subscribers. So that's pretty exciting. So that's going to be filming this Sunday. So that's going to be pretty cool here. So nice. There you go. I also do a bunch of other stuff. I'm also an eBay seller. I'm a filmmaker myself, and also an SEO manager. So I have my hands in a lot of pies, you know.
It seems like you're definitely fingering a lot of things.
I guess
it sounds like, yeah. But that's always good. It keeps you busy, and it never makes for like a dull moment, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm going to be moving to LA in a couple of months from now, so that's going to be pretty fun. I'm actually in the Washington area, same as you, so hope we get to meet up sometime.
Well, you know, post-COVID, we'll see what happens. Are you like by Seattle or?
I am in Kirkland, so kind of next to Seattle.
Yeah, a little north. I'm a little south, a little south.
Some
down
southern
there. Folks.
No,
yeah, I'm down in Olympia, so it's not like it's not too far. It's an easy drive to get.
It's the pretty south. It's the pretty south, you know.
Yeah, well, we just had a weird shooting here the other day, so.
Oh, never mind. I take that back.
There was there was a bunch of like Proud Boys versus Antifa, and like the leader of the Proud Boys, like I think he shot himself accidentally in the foot. So like it's like, okay, all right, well, I'm glad I didn't go downtown.
Okay, can I tell you a funny story here about this? So like I not only am I into film, I'm also big into politics there, and actually I was dumb enough to do this. I actually started my own political podcast, and it lasted for a whole year. But then I recorded this episode that has not seen the light of day yet, where I talked to this like crazy QAnon conspirator, and he literally went down the fucking rabbit hole, man. It was crazy. I had to delete all of it. It was just like, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? And I just said, fuck, I'm not equipped to talk about any this, so I kind of just quit that. But hopefully as time goes on, I think I can probably relaunch it again. But I mean, another high profile industry person told me, hey, I mean, just kind of like narrow your horizons of content you want to produce there. And that's what I've been doing. I mean, I have like 3 channels right now. I have a podcast one, I have a short film one, which I'm actually producing 3 short films right now. One of them is going to be released in October. Link in the description if you want to see it. But yeah, hopefully, but hey, maybe I can help you with like your Stranger Days podcast. I'm pretty good at like researching stuff. So if you need help with that, I can totally do that. I'm like free to help with any YouTuber stuff.
Sure. No, I appreciate that. I think with that one, it's like that and Podio commentary, very similar. I just kind of like, I'm using like Stranger Days to kind of figure out the format I want to make for Podio, so I can just sit down and do them. Yeah. I have a thing. I don't like to rely on anyone for like literally anything.
I gotcha.
Like I have my friends who come on here. I'm thankful for them to come on here. I was telling them, I'm like, I can do this on my own. It's not that it's anything negative. It's just like,
you just don't take shit for anybody.
No, it's really just like, I want to make sure that like, no matter what, things get done. Sometimes it takes a little longer than I'd like, but it is what it is on that one. But ultimately, is there
there's a couple topics I want to talk to you about here.
Okay, well, but here's the thing. Before we do that, there's one final one I want to cover tonight. So you can help me out with this one here, and that is I want to talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home thing that's going around today. Have you seen that?
I have, and I know people that work at Marvel Studios that are really pissed off about it.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure, because here's the thing. I jokingly, like, I saw it passed around, and I said, "Oh, look at this deep fake of Andrew Garfield."
That
and
is not a deep fake, buddy.
People are like, "It's not a deep fake," and I'm all like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, I don't want to get it taken down. Which is why for the thumbnail, no, it's perfectly fine. For the thumbnail, I just took it and I just pixelated it. Like, who's this? Just note that. But if you guys, I mean, this is the shot right here. That's someone has they uploaded it like multiple times to the channel. They have multiple, whatever this channel is has got multiple variations of this. And it's like one of them has got like behind the scenes footage with like the cast and crew, and it's, I mean, this is somebody that's like on fucking set. Yeah. And it could be the EPK people, you know what I mean? It could be the behind the scenes guys. It could be something, I don't quite know, but I mean, at this point, it's like there's, yeah, he's in the fucking movie.
Totally. He's totally in the fucking movie, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy movie, man. I do know a little bit more about the movie than most people. I know some colleagues that know a lot about the movie as well. Not gonna name names here, but I guess I can't because that's a bad idea. But anyway, getting back to the subject here, the movie I'm pretty excited for. Actually, this is going to be like a hot take, but honestly, I feel like out of all the MCU directors, Jon Watts, my personal favorite out of the bunch because he's made the most consistent series out of the one of them. I have some mixed feelings about the Russo brothers. I mean, I like their work, and actually, I'm one of the rare people that actually like their Apple TV Plus film Cherry. I actually, there's something really odd about that movie that I just kind of gravitate toward, sort of like the style of Zack Snyder. You either love it or hate it, and that movie just to me kind of worked there. But I feel like their like concrete style kind of made the MCU movies kind of look a little boring and kind of gray in a way. But I don't know. The thing about like Jon Watts is that he's able to take that like gray concrete tone. Especially you can see this in like Homecoming, where you see like that sunset scene where Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland are on that balcony scene. Yeah. Like the background scene is fucking beautiful, and even when it's like during the daytime, it's just more like the ferry, especially that it's able to like establish the oranges and the blues really nicely together. And though the CGI in the Spider-Man suit is kind of iffy, it's still well directed, and I also love the character work of those ones. I'm just kind of worried about like this film biting off more than they can chew. And if I'm being honest with myself, I'm a little bit more excited to see Jon Watts tackle the Fantastic Four than another Spider-Man movie. Like I'm excited for Tom Holland Spider-Man. Again, probably my favorite series out of the MCU so far. But I'm just kind of curious to see what he's going to do with the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really, me personally, I'm not thinking about the Fantastic Four at this point.
Fair
because
enough.
it's so, I mean, we know he's directing it, which is awesome. I think he's gonna be good for it. Yeah. I think he'll be able to kind of nail, like either him or Favreau would be really great in tackling like the family dynamic, I think.
Yeah.
But also maybe like the fish out of water, because if it's what they're gonna do with it, what I think they're gonna do with it. Yep. Obviously, it's going to be bringing the Marvel's first family out of the quantum realm and into now. And so you're going to have the fish out of water thing. And I think I have a feeling he's going to do it quite well. I think the other part of it too is, in regards to Spider-Man, like, yeah, I'm worried that this movie is going to bite off more than it can chew, because I'm be honest with you. I don't care. I want it. I want Toby. I want Andrew, obviously. I've been very consistent in my saying about this. I want fucking a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I don't really care as much as other people about this being, a multiversal film. It's cool, and I'm sure it's going to be done well, and I'm going to lose my shit and cream my jeans like everybody else. But at the end of the day, it's like, if it doesn't nail an emotional finale to this arc in Spider-Man's life, then what's the point?
I agreed, man. I am so on that train with you, man. Because again, I have loved these Tom Holland Spider movies. Are they like exactly like the Sam Raimi movies? No. Are they better in parts of the Sam Raimi films? No. But they're the beating to their own drum. Like, that's one of the things that I get so frustrated about fans, that they always want the same thing over and over again, even if they don't really think they do. They kind of want the same thing over and over and over again. Whether it's like callbacks to the same things over and over again, which is why The Force Awakens is popular, because well used to be popular, but I don't know, it's just it's always just been kind of like fandom to me has always been full of like how do I put this, hypocritical attitudes, and I get kind of sick of it after a while. But I hope this movie really nails Peter Parker's journey at this point. And I actually really did like the trailer. I feel like John Watts stepped it up as a director. I actually feel like he got better with the action scenes in Far From Home than Homecoming. He just keeps getting better and better and better. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's pretty cool. And that fucking picture is real, by the way. Yeah, I know it is real, and it's kind of crazy.
literally like in there's no way that could be fake. I mean,
no,
unless it's like a deleted scene from the like one of the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which it doesn't appear to be, because I don't know. I mean, but it's like that's the whole thing with like Andrew Garfield. He's stuck. He's trapped. He's really, and I talked about this last night too. He's stuck, and it's kind of like, could you guys just leave him alone? Like, just leave him alone a little bit. Let him get a bit of a break, and like, let's just kind of forget about it and go into this. Did you hear a couple months ago there was somebody, an Uber Eats driver, and I'm an Uber Eats driver, so I was laughing about this. He said he went and delivered food to Andrew Garfield at a hotel in Atlanta, and that Andrew Garfield was kind of a dick.
Oh, I could see that. There's actually this funny story I actually did, like, when I was like going down to LA here. You're not gonna believe this, but I accidentally might have flipped off Tarantino one time, because like I accidentally shoved him by mistake and said, "Watch where you're fucking going," and I'm like, "Fuck you, asshole!" And he said, "Dude, you just flipped off Tarantino." I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then he was gone. I don't know if it was him, but it looked kind of like him. So that's the next best thing.
It's possible that it's possible that it was him, because that's just kind of just how. Like how this shit works when it comes to celebrities in LA. You never know where you're gonna run into them. Like I told the story before about how I almost ran over the soup Nazi from Seinfeld with my car, like pulling out of the Smart and Final parking lot in Burbank. And he was jogging and not paying attention and whatever. So I was almost like, no life for you.
No life for you. Oh my god, damn! This is what I like about your streams. They're chill back. They're nice, and they're very welcoming. I don't see that a lot in like film fandom communities in a lot of sense, and that's what I like about you, man. It's been pretty good. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, but of course, celebrities are celebrities. I mean, like, if you're gonna catch them on a bad day, you're gonna catch them on a bad day. Like, what can you do, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, the thing is, celebrities are people, and ultimately, like, regardless of how certain, very vocal groups on the YouTube space like to claim that they're not, or that they're bad people somehow, or they whatever, because they have an opinion that they don't like. These actors are still people. They have good days, they have bad days. They obviously try to make it all work out, but. It's me personally, it's like, I don't really care what a celebrity says, like 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
None of it really matters, because like, look, when they're on screen, you're not really going to sit there and think like, man, man, Simu Liu laughed at me. Like, you're not gonna come on. If you go into a movie and you're watching Shang-Chi and you're sitting there and you see Simu Liu kicking ass on that bus sequence, and then your first thought is man, that Instagram story really like bummed me out, man. I'm just like, please get up and leave. Like, no,
totally.
stop watching movies, because the people out there that scream that everything is woke and everything is this, everything is that, whatever, it's all SJW shit.
Oh, I know. I know some people in my group that do that sometimes. I mean, not all of them, but
Just
one or
go.
two.
Here's how you fuck with them, right? You want to fuck with them, break their brain and break their worldview. It's fantastic. Just look at them and go like, everything you love is woke, right?
Yeah, but that
Everything
doesn't
you
really
love.
work.
No, but it's like, just go like, what do you like? Like Star Trek? Like Star Trek?
Yeah,
It's woke.
woke. It's woke. There you
Totally
go.
woke. It is the
Yeah.
wokest show you've ever seen. It's literally like a show that's like no religion, no
Yep.
money. It's a massive socialist utopia, and everyone gets along. And we bring a lot of refugees here from other planets. So it's kind of like interesting. Star Wars. You know what? The Empire was based off of the third. Not people think off the Third Reich. It's the outfits, uniforms were, they were modeled after the Hugo Boss stuff. But really it's about American imperialism.
Yep.
And the rebels, the rebellion, and this is from Lucas himself, are straight up fucking, they are the Viet Cong. That's pretty woke. That's a pretty woke thing.
I so agree with you on that, totally, man. And before we get onto the other topics here, I just want to say I've actually been a really big fan of Phase 4. I mean, I was kind of like lukewarm on Phase 3. I mean, I liked a good chunk of the movies, but I felt like a lot of them kind of just were under the pressure of the Infinity Saga, just getting to the end there. Like, I feel like the character developments of like Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Spider-Man all felt kind of like secondary to like the Infinity Saga in a way. And now that it's over, these stories have time to like breathe from one another, and they all feel kind of distinct from each other. Like the fact that like Daniel Destin Cretton has more of his voice in Shang-Chi than Scott Derrickson did in the first Doctor Strange really says something. Like, again, I see a lot of Daniel Destin Cretton films like Short Term 12 and Just Mercy, which are both phenomenal films you should definitely check out, by the way. Like, they're just phenomenal. And
I
also
think Short Term 12 was shot in San Diego.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because that was a big, I remember, because in the film scene in San Diego, that I never saw the movie, but like everyone in the film scene was like, did you know that Short Term 12 was shot here? Like the film commission, before they were completely like literally shut down by like the city council.
Oh yeah.
Or like the city shut down the film commission in San Diego. It was terrible. Like that's a travesty in and of itself, but that's for another time. But they were like, everyone was like, oh my God, they shot Short Term 12 here. And so yeah, I need to watch it, but
totally.
I thought that was pretty funny. Brie Larson's in that too, isn't she?
Oh yeah, no, she definitely, she's a great actor in that film as well. And though I wasn't really impressed with like Captain Marvel, I am so fucking excited for Nia DaCosta to do the Marvels. Like, have you seen Candyman, the new one?
No, I haven't
Holy
yet.
shit, dude. It is fucking crazy. Probably one of my top 10 films of the year. Actually, my film list is right here of the films I've seen all year here, if you want to take it up here. But I think it's around number 6 there. So I'm sorry to derail the show here because I don't want to be that douchebag, but fuck it, I'm going to be that douchebag anyway. Here it is. It's number 6 here. So the first one would be Free Guy. Number 2, In the Heights, Suicide Squad, Shang-Chi, Army of the Dead, No Sudden Moves, Cherry. Yeah, it's right there. But I'm very excited for it because I feel like one of the things that I've been a little bit annoyed about with like MCU fans is that they give Kevin Feige a little bit too much credit. Like, I like Kevin Feige. I think he's a genius. I think he's awesome. But I feel like we sometimes forget to give credit to like people like, Kate Shortland or Daniel Destin Cretton or you know who Nate Moore is?
Name sounds familiar.
Nate Moore is one of the Marvel producers that's produced some of your favorite works. He's produced Civil War. He's produced Black Panther. He's produced The Winter Soldier. Like, he's been involved in a lot of the movies you probably love there. And Kevin Feige's probably had a little bit more credit into them, but a lot of the driving force of that has been Nate Moore. And I feel like now with and all the phases have kind of had like one creative sort of like leading the pack. Or phase 1, you had Jon Favreau, and phase 2 was Joss Whedon. And with phase 3, of course, it was the Russo brothers.
Yeah. Well, and I get all that, There's actually a really great roundtable with like Kevin Smith, J.J. Abrams, Mark Hamill, and Stan Lee, and like Jason Lee.
Uh-huh.
And they were talking about, and JJ was talking about, like, he's like, because his name is attached to a lot of TV shows like Lost and Alias and
Oh
whatever.
yeah, totally love that one.
And he just goes like, at one point he goes like, here's the thing, people just kind of, they see your name and they think you kind of do everything. It's like, which is not true. But it's like, if things go really well, I get all the praise. However, if things go really bad, I get all the hate. Yeah. And that's kind of the whole point of like having the name of, how many people out there attacked Zack Snyder in 2017 for Justice League turning out the way that it did.
A lot of people
did. It wasn't until later that, the truth came out. Those of us who kind of knew the situation.
Yeah.
But really it was like, that was a big part of it, where we just tend to like focus on like the easiest thing to like, I guess, criticize. And I understand why it's easier to sell negativity than it is to sell positivity, which is so weird because it actually requires more energy of your body to be negative than it is to be positive. But because and this is my own take on it, because as a society, we're not like, as children, we were never taught what it means to be happy.
Oh,
right?
totally agree.
If like when you were, I don't know how old you are, I'm nearly 40, but like when I was a kid, again, gaming, comics, books, science, nerdy shit was always looked at as being this like, ew, what are you doing sort of thing, right? Yeah. And that only changed in the last like decade and a half, but really it was like people were shamed for what they like. And so what made them happy was considered this taboo thing. And maybe that is where a lot of the, you could call it the ownership that these fandoms have over these properties is because like it was theirs first. And then now because it's mainstream, they feel like it's being encroached upon.
Oh, totally. I totally agree with that. I can only speak for myself, but as somebody that's had like very severe ADHD and always a mild syndrome of autism, I've always been kind of looked down to and kind of been more of the underdog. I've always been underestimated, and I've always had to like work 10 times harder than everybody else to prove myself for that. And that's always kind of made me kind of like, I don't know. I don't know the word for it, sort of like doubt myself a lot.
Sure.
And a lot of movies and TV kind of helped me save that. And like this podcast I've been doing, these short films, like in my actual SEO work and getting out of school, I'm actually finishing up my tier degree right now. It's kind of made me feel a lot better myself. I was not a very happy teenager. I mean, I was like a fun, goofy, awkward teenager, but deep down I wasn't very happy. And it was only when I got out of high school that I really kind of started to find myself. And I think I'm becoming my own person. I'm not there yet, but I'm still working there. I hope my audio like
your audio is fine. Your audio is fine.
I just want to make sure there's, I don't want to like make it unprofessional here. But this is actually probably my most professional like guest spot in a while, because I always sometimes ramble sometimes, and I probably am right now. But fuck it. Hey, it's midnight.
It's exactly. Ashley, I do need to start winding the thing down here pretty soon. I want to tap out before 2 hours.
Oh yeah, sure.
I've been going like longer, 2.5, nearly 3 hours last night. I did not get a lot of sleep last night, and I'm just exhausted. But no, I get it. I get it, man. I get it. And I think like you're not alone in that. A lot of people go through that kind of stuff. Like in regards to, let's say, what happened to me 3 years ago, I understand like the having to work like 10 times harder sort of thing, because like, but also be true to yourself at the same time. And that's a big factor that goes into like right now kind of calling out the fandom Menace and everything else.
Yes.
Like they fucking hate me, and I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that, but I don't change how I operate. Right. Like I'll put out a voicemail line, you call in, I'll drop a link people can call on in. I do that because I'm like, look, either come debate me or shut the fuck up. It's kind of the way that I see it.
Oh yeah, totally, dude.
Like that's it. Like, but they can never bring any facts. But these people, I've been spending like way more time battling them on social media than I should. It's not good for my mental health. Now, I just want to kind of point out here that I saw that Forth said, I disagree. Negativity is effortless. That's actually false.
That is very false, my friend.
It actually, to give you a physical description of this, you use more muscles to frown than you do to smile.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, by diving into that negativity, it's like it's kind of like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It really, really, really is. And so when you surround yourself by it, it ends up taking over your attitude, your mood, everything else. Like even when I was at the doctor today, I was asking, I kind of inquired, I'm like, do I have adult ADHD? Because I was looking at some symptoms, and I'm like, maybe I kind of fall into like a mild category.
Yeah.
Because like I tend to get very sleepy in like the afternoon, early evening, But right, middle of the night, I'm like wired. I'm wide awake till like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And the thing with that is, though, I can't do that physically because I have to look after my kids in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to try to force myself to go to bed. I don't sleep very well. I overcompensate with caffeine, and I'm a type 2 diabetic, so I have to be very careful on that front as well. All while trying to lose weight and all this shit, right? It's all this crap that happens with the older you get, and so it ends up being this kind of situation to where it's like you still have to put in the time, you have to put in the work, but trying to like find the right thing. So like, it's, my biggest thing is trying to like separate timing. Like I haven't played video games in probably 3 weeks now.
Oh, really?
I haven't turned on. I want to, but like, I'm like, let me stream like Sunday to Thursday. All right.
Yeah.
I'll do 5 nights. Thankfully the support from the audience has been fantastic. It's been able to very much supplement a lot of income that I don't need to do from driving. I was actually I got an email today about a possible part-time job with the government actually.
Oh yeah, for COVID calling, right?
Not COVID, not something else, but
that's good, man. Congratulations. I hope.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that tomorrow and like apply for it. Cause like, I mean, it's something because like just to pay down some bills and like to take care of some other stuff I got to take care of. But still also be able to do this at night, but just have like more structure.
Yeah.
So that's kind of mean like that's, and I'm very open about like even my own mental health issues, my own mental health struggles. What's so funny though is people who attempt to weaponize that shit on the internet.
Fucking pathetic. They suck.
But that's also a large part of like where these fandom wars come from is like it becomes an us versus them mentality.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like a lot gets done when it's like that. Now, granted, I'm a stubborn asshole, and if I feel very passionate about something, I'm going to be very.
I wouldn't
vocal.
call you stubborn. I would call you righteous.
I mean, I try to avoid. Sometimes it comes across that way. I'll fully admit. I prefer the term smug.
Smug dipshit, or like
no, smug asshole. I'm not a dipshit. That's just the fact.
Okay,
but,
that's a dumb one.
But it's like so I jokingly refer to myself as a smug asshole. Like my doctor's day was asking me, she's like, have you had thoughts of suicide? I'm all like, no, I'm too narcissistic for that.
Too narcissistic. Oh my god, man, I love that so much. That's pretty. I'll rephrase that back, but yeah, that's a pretty good way analogy of it. I mean, speaking on my own fandom experiences here, I kind of like I use my fandom to sort of like fund other products here, like my eBay business. Like I make figures, I make prop stuff. I actually made like a bunch of props for a couple fan films this summer. I actually made around $2,000 just doing that. So I kind of used my dorky passion to sort of like make money, and like not in a way to like be like a dick about like the fandom. And it's like, oh, this thing woke, is this thing like garbage? Just like that shit's just not productive. I feel like a lot of fans think they're being productive, but they aren't really. They're just adding to the trash fire that is fucking.
It keeps them, in my opinion, it keeps them from enjoying. Yeah. Because you go into something with with that intent to hate it, right? So it's like, people give me shit because they'll be like, how can you criticize the fandom Menace? You criticize Ghostbusters forever. I'm all like, but if you look at what I criticized for Ghostbusters and how I criticized Ghostbusters for 2016, it was all about like, these are things that they're actually saying, like the stars of the movie are saying, the head of the studio is saying, other people are saying. It's like, it's not just the media that's trying to make this claim because the media started that, but then the actors in the studio backed it up. And that is when it takes it to a whole new level. That was a legitimate, hey, hold on, wait a minute, you're attacking the fans. It's not the media attacking the fans. This was the actual actors in the movie doing it.
Yep.
But I still said, I'm going to go see the movie on opening night because I cannot sit there and talk all this crap about it without at least giving it a shot.
That's pretty fair, man. Not a lot of people do that. That's like, I really commend you for that, man.
I went in hoping to like it. I really did. I went in there and I was like, please don't suck. Please don't suck. Please don't suck. Opening 5 minutes of the movie, that cold open, I liked the cold open quite a bit. I still do to this day. I thought that was great. I thought that was kind of not as good as The Library, but still good, still fun. I felt the vibe. And then after that, the whole thing fell to shit. And I was like, all right, I can't do it.
Totally. Yeah. Speaking of movies and TV, have you seen any good shows or films as of recent? Because I have a bunch I've actually seen in the last couple of weeks. So like, have you seen anything cool at all in your opinion or not?
I have kids, so I've been watching what
Paw
did I watch?
Patrol.
I saw Paw Patrol the movie.
Yeah.
Like a bunch. The movie's okay, but it's like there's a character they brought in. This is what I fucking hate with these animated movies, man. They in any movie that brings in a kid in its sequel, right?
Ooh.
Like the movie's gonna be fucking. It's like in trouble, right? I mean, look at like the Mummy Returns. They brought in the kid. The kid was okay. The kid was okay in the Mummy Returns. He wasn't that bad. But like they brought in kids in other movies, and you're like, why'd you bring in a kid? Like Iron Man 3 brought in the kid, and I think that was probably like the best interaction of that because the two of them bounced off each other very well. Ty Simpkins and Robert Downey Jr. did a very good job, so it added to the movie. But there's been so many other times that they go like, oh, it picks up 10 years later, and now the married couple has a kid. Like I'm fully expecting the next National fucking Treasure movie. Diane Kruger and Nick Cage are gonna have like a fucking 15-year-old or some shit like that, and that's gonna be like the thing. I don't like that kind of crap. But in Paw Patrol, they bring in this new character named Lizzie. It's like a wiener dog, and then like she just basically like inserts herself in the team, and no one questions it.
No one questions it.
No, like they say
Is it
that
woke.
It's not woke. It's not woke, but it's like the dog talks a lot of trash. Like at the beginning of the movie, like again, the physics of Paw Patrol, like the rules of that world, they escape me because dogs can talk, cats cannot. Humans and dogs can interact with one another.
I mean, like what you have like a talking dog, like all logic's kind of out the window there. I mean,
Yeah,
again,
but they drive, and they're all puppies, and they drive fucking like cop cars, and they fly planes and shit.
They don't
I know.
They're
I know.
fucking thumbs.
I know they don't have they put the driving is literally just like it's like a button on the car, and it just taps into their like their neurons or something, and creates a link, and they're able to like drive it with their mind. I don't fucking know, but it's like they add this new character in, and like in the beginning of the movie, she's like on the subway, and this big buff guy like drops this throws some trash, and she's like,
Yep.
pick it up, and he's all like, no, and she's like, I'm gonna make you, and then he's all like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm a fix my life, and it just like, I'm like, dude, he would like kill her and like eat her and like not even care. Like, what the fuck is this? I know it's a kids movie and I'm overthinking it, but again, when you have kids, you watch these movies with them.
Yeah.
So you watch like we watched Boss Baby back in the Family Business, which I actually really liked it. I've been pro Boss Baby on the stream. In fact, if you become a channel member, if you become a channel member, not you specifically, but if you want, you can. But there's a Boss Baby emote that's there. That it's more of an inside joke type shit. But really, it's like I will say this: the best one I've seen so far recently is Monsters at Work.
All right. Oh yeah, that Disney Plus series. I've been trying to take there.
It legitimately connects right with the first movie.
Yeah.
And in multiple ways, and it's like it's solid. It's got good storytelling. It's got good characterizations. It answers some things with the first movie. It opens the door for like the next season. It basically feels like essentially Monsters Inc. 2.
Yeah.
And I know people out there aren't super happy because like Mike and Sully aren't the main characters, but they are in it. Like they're pretty much in like every episode.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to do with them. So it's good. My kids love it. We've watched it a bunch.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm trying to like find more, like, I think, what is it? Like Kate, that new Mary.
Mary I actually got some recommendations for you for some movies you should definitely check out in a little bit, but like continue on, buddy, please.
Oh, I'm just saying it's like that dropped tonight. So, I mean, I think, that just dropped at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, I want to go and try to check that out this weekend sometime. I'm like really just trying to figure out like how to focus. Like, I don't watch a lot of things. I watched Shang-Chi. I still haven't seen Free Guy yet. It's just hard to get away.
Oh, totally understand, man.
And then it's hard even on the weekend. I'm like, do I want to play video games, or do I want to like work on maybe researching a project or something? And it's just like, like I'm just waiting. Like my kids get here to go to preschool, and I'm just like, please God.
Dude, there is too much shit to fucking consume, man. Like that is the biggest problem with our culture. Is like there is way too much shit to watch, to eat, to see. It overwhelms the mind, man. But it's up to us to sort of balance it out there. But you know what I mean. Like I feel like we just have like a problem of excess. You know what I mean? There's
a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, look at it now: Paramount Plus, Peacock, Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Instant, Shudder. That's actually really popular. Shudder,
Tubi.
El Rey Network, the Robert Rodriguez channel. That's actually now been pulled off cable and it's going streaming only.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Oh, cool. Are we gonna get maybe a third season to From Dusk Till Dawn to kind of wrap up the storyline? That'd be all right.
Oh yeah.
But it's like there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of choices now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the things, like when I was arguing yesterday about the whole adjusted for inflation thing. It's like, look back, go back to Gone with the Wind times. Like there was really only Gone with the fucking Wind. That was basically about it that people had to watch.
Yep.
And they watched it a lot because people will always justify escapism.
All right.
And so they'll always justify entertainment. They'll always justify escapism. Come to now, and it's like, and I like to give this as a specific example. Go back and just look at the film releases in the summer of 2008. And you'll see, like, the summer of 2008 was so fucking slammed. So slammed. I mean, we're talking like Iron Man, Indiana Jones, Kung Fu Panda, Tropic Thunder, The Dark Knight, Speed Racer, Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, You Don't Mess with the Zohan,
Honestly,
Step Brothers. Like, I mean, and that's not all of them. There's more.
if I'm being honest with you, I feel like that's not the greatest example. I feel like a better example would actually be 2015, actually, where we had Avengers, fucking Jurassic World, Mad Max, Pitch Perfect 2, Star Wars.
But what I'm talking about is you're spacing it out over the course of the year.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about concentrated between May and July.
Oh yeah, totally.
The summer season. Now, because again, 2008, the summer season was a summer season. By 2010, when Alice in Wonderland opened in early March, in fact, I'd even argue that maybe 2007 kind of started off that trend with 300 doing as well as it did when it opened up in March. But it wasn't until 2010 with Alice in Wonderland where you had your first non-summer movie hit $1 billion. Then go to 2017 in March, and that's when you had Kong Skull Island, Logan, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Ghost in the Shell, and Beauty and the Beast. And Beauty and the Beast hit $1 billion that month. That was in March. And so it's like you start seeing like the trends change where now we can have these hit films every single month and do pretty well if they're marketed properly. But back in the early 2000s, they only thought about it from the perspective of these are when kids are out of school. So this is when we have to push it. And, like that's kind of how it went for the longest time. But then they made all that money in that time period because that was when those things were out. That was when it was so concentrated. But now you have so many different avenues and so many different ways to see things. And I mean, look at Halloween Kills. That's going to be on Peacock. Like, it's like,
I'm not really surprised. I mean,
I am because the hype on that movie is high. But I think the middling reviews, I think the success of Shang-Chi and the fact that Venom was going to be coming out the same day as Halloween Kills. I think because of that, they decided to pull it. Or to
don't forget Paramount sort of like being bitch made and just like pushing back all of their free movies. Like I understand like maybe Jackass, but man, that is a mistake to push back Top Gun again. Like that is just a huge fucking mistake.
I don't disagree with you. Top Gun is definitely a movie that needs to just come on out. But again, like Paramount is so cash poor for the moment. I think. I mean, look, they got their because now look, Viacom CBS is merged all that together. Paramount is now underneath that banner. The thing with that is like, look, they want to push Paramount Plus. Obviously, there's a great library with Paramount. There really is a great library with Paramount. But it's like they also want to get the exclusive content. Star Trek is a massive thing for them. That's like their key franchise. And I get what they're trying to do.
I would disagree about Star Trek. I think a better example of that honestly would be like Mission Impossible or in the Transformer stuff. I mean, I feel like because actually I know you're gonna hate this, but Scott Mendelsohn kind of made this really great point about how like again look at
Scott makes some good points every once in a while. Yeah. Like I get it. Yeah. His Twitter takes though are trash, but like he makes some interesting points in his articles.
Well, look, trust me, as somebody that's like talked to him on a somewhat regular basis, I think he's a pretty swell guy once you get to know him. But but anyway, as I've been saying here, I feel like the big hitters for Paramount are honestly, I mean, I feel like Star Trek is more of a television thing. It's sort of like where Star Wars is right now, where I think it's going to be more TV based, and I don't fucking believe that Max Shankman Star Trek 4 is ever going to be fucking happen, because again, our favorite Midnight Edge people actually are right about this, is that a lot of the reason why Star Trek hasn't gotten off the ground theatrically is because of funding, and a lot of that is due to the fact of Beyond not performing very well. So I think
Beyond should not have come out during the summer.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
I think Star Trek is a winter property, to be honest.
So like
with
December,
you. It's like Prince. It's like the Chronicles of Narnia releasing Prince Caspian in May, the week before Indiana Jones, and 2 weeks after fucking Iron Man. I mean, that's what killed Speed Racer. Speed Racer opened up a week after Iron Man.
Yep.
And so it's like, but again, Narnia is a movie where it's like, it feels like an epic coming off of Lord of the Rings. You put that shit in the winter. Because that's, and so I feel like Star Trek kind of has that vibe to it as well. And obviously Star Wars has done very well in the winter. So they're going to keep it at that. They're not going to do any more summer releases. They wanted to go back to Memorial Day, but Memorial Day is such a hit, such a hit or miss these days.
Yeah.
But really it's like, I look, the Mission Impossible franchise, I get what Scott would say. Clearly it is like, in regards to the longest running theatrically, it feels like, I mean, with its core star, unlike Shatner, who was out in 96, I think is when Generations came out. So, there's been a long time of Tom Cruise doing this, but also, the Cruise Wagner production company, they were the ones, like, if you go back and look at the story, because I started working on a Podio commentary for this, by the way. I got halfway through it and I got distracted. But basically it's like Tom Cruise and Paula Wagner, they went to Paramount and they were like, we want to do Mission Impossible. And Paramount had been trying to get a Mission Impossible movie off the ground for a while. They basically just gave it to Tom Cruise. So he's been like, they've had like the production rights to that for like the longest, or the licensing to make it for like the longest time. So, I mean, sure, they can't make it anywhere else other than Paramount, but Paramount has also never attempted to do any other kind of spinoff.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah.
So, but I do get your point about the Transformers movies, but the goodwill with Transformers 4 and especially 5 is gone. And that was even replicated with Bumblebee. I know people out there like to argue Bumblebee was not a good movie. It was not a good movie.
That was actually really good.
It was not a good movie. It was like, I mean, the action was a lot of fun. Bumblebee was a great character. Haley Steinfeld was fantastic in the movie. John Cena was terrible. The dialogue was garbage. The plot points were fucking oh my God. Like, I just was so, what the hell with this movie? It was just like Travis Knight coming off of fucking Kupo.
Yep.
It's like, dude, the fuck, And like, I'm an Oregon boy. So it's like, I lived at the time when Kupo came out, like I lived down the street literally from like Nike's worldwide headquarters, and his father founded Nike. And Leica Studio. Yeah. Leica Studios is right there in Hillsboro. It's right down the road.
I've actually done a tour there. I actually went to a tour down there. It was actually really nice there. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to see it myself. I haven't gone. I would love to go and see it one day, because I love their movies, but I'm just saying, it's like, Bumblebee as a movie was meant to be a soft reboot. And I think it failed on so many fronts because it didn't establish anything really new. And it just kind of gave us more of like, okay, let's kind of go back and give us Bumblebee in the 80s. Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
That's fun. Bumblebee was great. Like, but you know what though, when I talk to everyone about that movie, you know what they always tell me? They always say the same thing. Man, the opening 5 minutes were great. And I'm like, watch the DVD extras. The opening 5 minutes were basically a last minute edition.
There you go. Oof. Okay, never mind then. But so I just wanted to ask you a couple of things here also. Anyway, sorry to get off track here, but
no, that's okay. Well, ask me this and then we'll start winding it down, because I do got to get going.
What are some of your most anticipated fall movies this year? Because I got a good little mix here of stuff there. I'm actually seeing Paul Schneider's and Oscar Isaac's Card Counter film tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that, along with like James Wan's Malignant. So you have any upcoming films that you're excited about, like for the fall season, that aren't big blockbusters, or if they are?
Well, I mean, like, yeah. So I really want to see No Time to Die. Like, I love Bond, so. There's that. The Eternals I'm interested in now that it is exclusively to theaters. So that came out today. But I just didn't add it to the list for tonight to talk about. I do want to see Venom. I like the franchise stuff. I'll fully admit that.
Oh, totally fine, man. Totally fine.
Other than that, I haven't been paying that close attention to what's coming out this fall because I don't hold my breath to any of the release dates. Like I just don't hold my breath to any of it.
I totally understand, man.
I couldn't even tell you like what all is coming out. I know the key ones, the ones I want to see. Spider-Man obviously coming up in December, and The Matrix obviously, and I'm going to go see that. Actually, it's not even going to be in fucking IMAX. It's not going to be in IMAX because Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be in IMAX. So they even looking at the end of the trailer today, it didn't say IMAX, which I think is ridiculous because that was something you'd want to see in IMAX, but whatever.
Yeah.
But really, it's like I want to see Kate on Netflix that just dropped. I want to see. I need to sit down and just start like make a list of what I need to watch and start going through it.
Can I give you some recommendations? Because I'm going to make 2 lists here. I promise they'll be quick. All right. I'm not trying to be a uber fanboy here. So for my blockbuster list, I have The Eternals. That is probably my most anticipated Marvel film of the year. I love Spider-Man, but this is the one that Kevin Feige's been pimping up the most. This is like the golden child he's been like pimping all summer here. So I'm excited for that. I know,
and that's what makes me worried.
Because
he's overselling it.
But there you go, and I would totally understand that. Okay, number 2 would be Dune. Of course, that's pretty good. I'm not sure how well it's going to do at the box office because it's going to bomb. It's going to bomb.
And and the thing is that I don't say that with any glee. I don't hear. Let me just kind of summarize one thing. I never, and I mean this. I fundamentally mean this. I never want a movie to fail ever. Never. I know what goes into making them. You know what goes into making them. The time and effort it takes to get these things ready and to put out there. I never want a movie to fail, and I never want a movie to be bad. That doesn't always happen, and there's a lot of mitigating factors. It's never just summarized down to like really one thing. But again, it's like some movies are just bound to bomb. And honestly, look, Legendary and Warner's, they knew that going into this movie.
Oh, and they're honestly pissed off at each other from insiders, man, dude. They like, especially with that Christopher Nolan thing. They dude, by the way, talk about a bombshell. Like Christopher Nolan just saying, fuck you, Warner Brothers. I'm gonna go like take my like World War II movie to like fucking Universal Paramount.
It's going to Netflix.
Oh man,
that's where I guarantee you that's where it's going because no one else is gonna want to put up the money. Here's the thing. Look, I'm just being honest with you. Dunkirk and Tenet were both kind of all right. Like, I mean, Dunkirk didn't pull it. It wasn't like, Interstellar.
600 million.
Yeah, but that's still not. I mean, when you're knocking billions out of the park, or what did Interstellar pull in worldwide? I forget.
No, that actually made 700. Actually,
okay, it was a better movie. I mean, the third act was shit. Like, my God, when he went full Kubrick with that third act, I was like, what are you doing, man?
That was actually probably one I actually don't really mind that much. I do not like Tenet that much. I know you're like sighing there. I'm sorry.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet because it's like. I have HBO Max. I need to sit down and watch it. I want to watch it. But like, again, it's that whole thing of just like, even The Dark Knight Rises wasn't that good of a movie. And
I understand.
It gets a pass because it's Nolan. But because then I go and I look at like, let's say Batman Begins or, Memento, even Insomnia was a good remake of a 97 Swedish film, because funny thing was I saw that back in the 90s. I watched Siskel and Ebert review it. Right. And then I worked at Hollywood Video at the time and we had a copy of it. So I rented it and I watched it. So I was really shocked a couple years later when all of a sudden I see Al Pacino and Robin Williams pop up in literally the same movie. Yeah. And it's literally a shot for shot remake. Like Nolan it was his first, first movie outside of Memento.
It was his first big Hollywood movie.
Yeah. So he played it safe. But look, The Prestige. Right. Like that is my God. Like I bought that sight unseen. I didn't watch it when it came out in theaters. I bought it, when I went to Walmart and it was like only in widescreen because that's what they marketed it as. I bought it. I went home and I watched it and then I immediately watched it again. And I rarely do that. Yeah. So Nolan can make good movies. I love his original work. I just feel like he has lost his touch because
I would agree with that.
His brother needs to come back. His brother can rein him in. I really totally feel that.
Anyway, I just want to get to these things here because I know you're probably busy here. But anyway, my blockbuster list, it's going to be Eternals, Ghostbusters, Dune, Spider-Man 3, and there's actually I was a little bit hesitant with the trailer, but I am pretty excited for Red Notice.
Yeah, I think Red Notice is going to be I am actually legitimately excited for that.
I actually do like. I am excited for it, but I feel like. And by the way, Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson had a fucking killer year. Like they did Free Guy, which was fucking phenomenal, and Jungle Cruise, which I really enjoyed. So I'm going into that pretty excited for this tone. But I don't know. I just feel like the trailer kind of was like very medium. But that's just me. But I'm still excited for the movie here. But as for like a couple of my other films that I'm looking forward to, one that I think that I'm really excited for, and one that's going to be has not even been remotely talked enough about, which is Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Holy shit, does that look fucking?
I saw the trailer for it like when it first came out online, and it didn't wow me. But then I saw the trailer in theaters in that setting.
Holy shit! Didn't it make you cry a little bit?
No, because I've never really cared for it. I just prefer Romeo and Juliet. I just never. I mean, I saw. Oh, I'm like, oh, there's Rita Moreno. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw West Side Story when I was taking we had like movie history classes in high school. Like, as an elective, and we watched
That's pretty good.
And it was fun. It was good. I just feel like I think for me it was like Spielberg turned down Indiana Jones to do West Side Story.
You know what? I think that's a good thing.
Probably because James Mangold I trust.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, look, it's like I get it. The dude, he wants to make what he wants to make. But it doesn't interest me. Like I just that kind of thing.
There's actually another movie he's going to be doing after this called The Fableman, and it's going to be a complete story of his entire life, like in Hollywood. That one I'm like so.
Yeah, Seth Rogen? Who is Seth Rogen playing in that?
He's playing his uncle.
Okay.
And one of the kids playing him is playing the main character is Gabriel something. But no, that's the thing I'm excited for, and this feels like he's going in the right direction. I feel like Ready Player One was like his culmination piece of his blockbuster work, and I feel like this movie is going to be a culmination of his period piece work, and The Fableman's going to be a culmination piece of his entire filmography as a whole. It's going to take the best of both worlds and make something kind of beautiful out of it. But anyway,
yeah, no, I hope, like, I'm hopeful for that, like, because I do love Spielberg. I know he's getting up there in years, and everything else. I would love to see another Tintin.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see, that come to life again, because I love Tintin.
Yeah.
And I would love to see, like that Robot Apocalypse one he wanted to do. It sounded like a cool concept. But at the same time, like I remember like in 2005 when we got War of the Worlds, which was not very good. It was okay. I thought the scripting was terrible. And I blame David Koepp for that.
Agreed.
But then he finished that one up because that was his obligation to DreamWorks. And then he went off to go do Munich, and Munich was fucking fascinating.
Oh yeah, totally. You know what? Actually, okay, I'm starting to get off track here, but you know what my personal favorite Spielberg film is? It's actually his 2001 film AI. That movie to me is so trippy and so.
But you can't really call that though his movie. I mean, I know he directed it, but it's like
it's Kubrick.
It's Kubrick. Like it's still Kubrick a bit. And I remember when we got that movie at the drive-in. It came out during my first year working there, so I was like 19. I didn't care for it, and as a result, I like never went back and rewatched it. I need to go give it a watch now that I'm older.
Trust me, it's that ending, man, is really heartbreaking. It's just really heartbreaking. Anyway, I want to get back on topic here, but there's this other movie that I think you're gonna really like. It's on Netflix. It's called Don't Look Up. It's starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence.
That's the Adam McKay one.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm a huge Adam McKay fan. I loved his work with Anchorman and also The Big Short, and I actually even liked Vice. And this film feels like a great smoothie blend of like all the genres he's very popular in. And the trailer, man, holy shit, it makes me both excited and also like kind of hits close to home, especially if like everything happening with climate change. Like the movie's gonna hit home for a lot of people. If you thought Star Trek was woke, boys, you guys are this is gonna be a swift kick in the balls for this one. But yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the trailer.
It should be a lot of fun. For some reason, when I think about Don't Look Up, and I in regards to like it being a Netflix movie, I'm like immediately like taken back to like Hillbilly Elegy.
No, this is not even that.
But I know, and I know. For some reason though, I draw comparisons, and I cannot tell you why. But that because
it's maybe Glenn Close's wig. It's maybe Glenn Close's wig. Probably.
Maybe. I'm like that was such a like that is the good thing and bad thing with Netflix, because they let the creatives create, and you either get something really good or you get something pretty shitty. And like even like when they did you ever see Six Underground?
I did. That was so fucking awful.
I don't, but I'll tell you why it was awful, right? Because the movie I believe this. I believe it was originally written or designed as a series. And what we saw was the first season in the movie, because if you go back and it was written by Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, right? And who also did Deadpool, but they also did Zombieland. And Zombieland was very much a television show idea before it was adapted into a feature film concept.
Yep.
And so if you draw the parallels between Zombieland and Six Underground, you see that they're pretty on point for what they were trying. They're pretty similar for what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So if you go and you watch Six Underground again, you can see each character gets their own mini episode within the movie.
Yeah.
And it's all the exposition that doesn't need to fucking be there. But I'll tell you my biggest problem with Six Underground is it was bitter and it was cynical.
Yeah, it was basically a Ryan Reynolds movie with like a Michael Queer.
It was, well, it's Ryan Reynolds, but like not fun Ryan Reynolds.
Douchey Ryan Reynolds. Hitman bodyguard wife Ryan Reynolds. The one that nobody likes.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because there's that scene in the movie when like they run in on the one guy and he's like banging the chick from behind. Yeah. And they like shoot him in the head as he's like fucking her.
It was so awkward.
And then it's all like, well, at least he pulled out. And just I'm like, what? Like, I mean, like maybe Michael Bay was trying to do that. He was trying to channel Pain and Gain, because Pain and Gain was a little bit on the dark and cynical side, but I think it worked for the story. This was about like about trying to stop like a people from dying, like a terrorist thing, like a dictator. And it was like, and then Ryan Reynolds was very like hopeful and optimistic in his monologue, but the movie was just like, after the opening scene, the opening action scene was great. And then after that, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. But then you get things like, Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh yeah, dude, that was so fucking good.
That was fucking, so that should have been like, they should re-release that.
And also, of course, Martin Scorsese's The Irishman. I love that movie so goddamn much. Like
I did not get the chance to watch it, unfortunately.
Okay, dude, trust me, it is a fucking heartbreaking movie, and it takes and Martin Scorsese. It's kind of a culmination. I mean, I keep saying this a lot, but it's kind of a culmination piece of like all his gangster film work. It's sort of like it's a great double feature with Goodfellas and Casino, and then you see The Irishman. It's like it takes away all the sheen, it takes away all the fun out of it, and it shows the real picture of it, and shows about friendship and stuff like that. It's so depressing in a good way. In the ending, where he's sort of like, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's just so. My God, it was so good. It was probably Al Pacino and Joe Pesci, and I would say it's Robert De Niro's like mid work, but Pesci and Al Pacino do probably some of their finest work there, and they reverse roles there. So, but there's that there. But I think Netflix has a lot of good stuff there. I just kind of worry that they produce too much of it too quickly. Like you saw this with Thunder Force, you saw this with
they did that this year. So if you remember a couple of years ago, it was like one new comedy special every week. And it was like, that we got Amy Schumer, we got Dave Chappelle, we got Bill Burr, John Mulaney, all these comics. And it was great. A lot of funny stuff. People really liked it. This year, they're like, we're doing one movie a year or one movie a week. And I think they did that predominantly because they want to keep people around. But it's like, and they've put out some good films this year, like Mitchell's versus the Machines is pretty fantastic.
Really good. I love that one.
I at first I didn't really care for it as much, and then I've watched like a bunch since, and I've grown to really like it.
Oh yeah.
Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead was fantastic. Again, for animation, VO has a bit of a weird animation style, but I feel like the message of the movie is great, and I do like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Did you see In the Heights, by the way? That movie is one.
I thought that was like a West Side Story knockoff.
No, dude, it is so fucking good. Like the music, the atmosphere, the dance numbers, like it is so great. And also John M. Chu really sort of stretches his muscles there, like he did Crazy Rich Asians. Think about it. The guy,
but didn't he also do
Step Up Revolutions? Yeah,
well, dude. That and like Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah, but dude, no, he's like really evolved as a filmmaker. I'm very excited to see what he does with Wicked.
No, he's I like him quite. Didn't he also do G.I. Joe Retaliation?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, you did. Also written by Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, but I actually really enjoyed it predominantly because I felt like it was like a harken back to like a 90s action film. You know, like the part with Cobra Commander looks at Destro and he's in like Frozen. He goes like, "You're out of the band." I'm like,
oh, jeez, that's so on the nose.
It was so corny, but I loved it. But anyway, man, I gotta wrap this up.
Oh,
I got
same here, man.
I gotta answer some super chats and stuff, and then
Anyway,
say goodnight to everybody.
before I head out here, I just want to say thank you guys for having me on here again. I want you on my podcast, and hopefully we can do that soon. We can talk about some cool stuff there. We can sort of cover this conversation up here, and that'll be pretty cool. So if you want to do it, that's cool. No pressure or anything. We can pick a date.
Just get permission.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm a grown ass man. So come on, I'm a grown ass man. You know what?
I still want to know who that is though, but you don't have to tell me here. I still because like that was such a weird thing, but
he kind of looks like you. Let's put it like that. And he maybe
does he live in Florida? Oh shit! I had a feeling it was. I had a feeling.
Oh, sorry.
No. It's fine.
He's cool. He's not terrible.
No, he ain't. No, he's not. He's terrible. He's a horrible human being. I have the receipts to back it up. By the way,
I'm not gonna get into this because
I'm telling you right now. I'll tell you this right now. If you have me on your podcast, he will not talk to you. I am flat out telling you this right now. He will not do it. Okay. That is a precise thing with this person. Like literally, I'm telling you, that's the whole thing. I can fill you in more later, not a problem. But it's like
okay,
it is legitimately. You know, I'm just gonna send you a video. All right, I'm gonna send you a video.
Was it have saggy on it or something like that?
No. It's like 2 minutes long, and it's Let me see if I can find it here. Hold on. I'll just send it to you here. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I just burned my friendship with him right now. So there's that.
Well, I mean, if he's listening, I don't know.
He's not listening. Come on.
I don't know. Well, no. He may not be listening, but there are other people who listen and report back. Believe me.
No, nobody fucking cares about me. Like I've only been on this stream for like 5 or 6 times. Nobody.
Like a few months ago. Like, have you ever heard of a guy named Paul?
Who?
Hatlich and Helix. Yeah. Like he exposed all that stuff where it was like he was being that guy was feeding him information about me, trying to get him to come after me.
Wait,
doing
really?
Trying to do the same with other people. Like I'm telling you. Like here. I'm just gonna send you this. Watch it later. It's only a minute 50.
Fuck.
And it gives you basically everything you need to know about who this person is.
Fuck me. God damn.
So I'm just saying, I'm like, people look, I'll be honest with you. People will try to hold the last 3 years over my head. I get that. I fucked up. It happens.
All right.
Okay. People fuck up. People make mistakes. Everyone has that problem. It's all about what happens after the fact. If you sit there and you continuously attempt to like hurt people or shut them down or gaslight them or everything else, it ends up being more indicative of who you were is still who you are.
Yeah.
And so people like they like to hold my worst day against me. And the thing is like, I'm not that person. I was never even really that person. I was just not doing well at that time.
Okay.
And, but this person, same person, same person never changed.
God damn it.
I'm just saying, man. Make your own conclusion to it. I sent you the video right there.
Yeah, all right, you're right. Look at
and I want you. But the thing is, when you listen to it, I want you to really listen to what is being said and what is being, and the implications of what is being said in regards to how far they will go to stifle criticism from people that they don't like.
Look, I mean, again, I'm just gonna end right here and say, look, I'm a fan of Annie's. I'm a fan of you. I don't have leeches to anybody. I really don't. Okay. Look,
that's fine, and I won't fault you for going over and talking to him. I'm not that kind of person.
Yep.
All right. I'm not going to sit there and say don't do it, but that's not me. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Of course, dude. I totally understand that.
That's kind of the whole thing. That's why I was like, because I don't want. I'm just telling you, it's like there's a reason why more people when they break away, all have very similar stories.
Okay, so fuck. I guess that's a really awkward place to end it, but
it is a little bit. I fully admit, but it's like, dude, watch that clip.
All right.
and then you know, let me know what you think about it. I'm just saying, do what you will with it.
All right.
But you know what? It's like there's a reason. There's a reason.
Okay, look, all I'm just gonna say here is that thank you for having me on. I hope we get to talk in the future, hopefully without like starting World War III. But you know,
I've been fighting a war on all fronts for a while now. So, welcome to the party, pal. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. It's all good. No, here's the thing. It's not a problem. I'll gladly go on your show. We can easily talk movies.
maybe, yeah, totally. We'll see there.
Well, no, I have no problems going on ever, really.
Yep.
I had Vito on recently.
Oh yeah. Did anything kind of happen with that at all?
No, not at all, because we didn't talk about it. We made the agreement prior to not say anything. So we didn't say anything.
So
We just talked about stuff.
This is totally fine then. So what are we worrying about? Like, I mean, Paul kind of like said some shit about him behind his back though. So that's kind of that there. So if I don't say anything, I'm just, you know, whatever.
Well, he also showed how he was being manipulated behind the scenes as well. So you gotta again.
Dude, Andy doesn't give a shit about me. Come on, let's be honest here.
I don't know the deals of your guys' friendship.
He probably thinks I'm like that annoying dipshit kid that comes on the stream way too often. So you know, like he probably wants to get rid of me anyway. So
no, if you pay him money, he'll keep you around. That's the reality of it.
I did actually.
You know,
fuck. Never mind. Fuck. God damn it.
Like I'm just saying, it's like if it's easy to get swallowed in by someone who has similar interests as you.
Yeah.
And especially someone who has had the accusations levied at him that weren't true. Yep. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of the reality of it, is where it's like, I'm not a fan, but if someone brings up those allegations, I will shoot them down because they're not real, because that's the right thing to do. The other part of that though, is you don't get that out of him. It becomes, if you just like, we can talk more about it off air if you want. That's fine. I don't want to address it all here. I don't want to put you in a weird space, and I get that it's probably gone that way, and that's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, you know what? No. You know, it's not your fault at all, buddy. It is totally me. I accept the responsibility. We can talk about it off air later, but maybe we can talk tomorrow. That'll be honestly way better. Just like, you know, do that. But again, Andy, if you're watching, buddy, trust me, I'm not gonna backstab you. I am not that type of person. Please, just
Andy, put the knife down. Put the knife down, Andy. All right.
But if you do piss me off, you're gonna unleash hell, buddy. But I won't. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because again, I am a nice fucking person. All right. And
sure. You sound like you are a nice guy. I don't want to put you in a bad spot or nothing like that.
I'm not Andrew. All right. Not Andrew. Trust me. I promise.
Wait, which Andrew?
Whatever, an Andrew, whatever. You know.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't ever think of him by like a full name.
Andrew, Andy, whatever.
Yeah. I just know him as Andy.
But okay, anyway. So this is a pretty fun podcast. Oh my god.
All right. It's at the end. No one ever makes it to the end, by the way. So I have like no audience. Yeah, so it's all good.
Well, there we go.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'll you know, I mean, if you want, you can hang out. I'll put you backstage. Let me just wrap this up in a couple minutes, and then we can do that. We can talk about it. But all right, man. Thank you very much. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Galley Productions. I also have another podcast called Bring On Entertainment. It's my studio podcast where I talk to film pundits from all across the spectrum. There, I'm actually talking to Don. As I said before, I'm talking to Griffin Schiller from the Film Speak this Sunday. I'm really excited about that. I'm also going to be getting another guest very soon. That is a high-profile person. I think he's from Variety. Nice. If I can walk him down, it's really. I'm really excited, man. I'm like the Mandalorian. I wander around there, though. You know, it's just there. And also, you can also find me on the non-cinephile Twitter. So there you go.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Hang on a minute, and I'll wrap this up, and we'll jump on in.
Cool. Awesome.
All right, thank you very much, buddy. All right, hold on. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. Definitely a fun evening. Let me just kind of get through these quick last few super chats. McLeod here asking, isn't it nuts how after all the years of theories and leaks of KOTOR, all ended up being true? Been crazy announcements for video games today. That is very true. KOTOR's announcement was definitely unexpected. I stopped what I was doing and watched it on my phone. I'm just like, no way. and it's a timed exclusive on PS5. So there's that. But I do want to get a PS5 for Spider-Man 2, which looks insane, and the Wolverine game, which is going to be fucking awesome. And apparently they're doing their whole like cinematic universe of video games now, and that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what's going to be going on there. So thank you very much for that one. And then yes, so everyone kind of like figures it out. Yeah, I see the chat there. Andy Snore. There we go. Okay, let me just scroll through. There were a couple small ones I missed. I'm so sorry, you guys. I might have to get to them. Okay. Andrew here says, take a look at the storyboards for David Lean's unproduced adaptation of Joseph Conrad's Nostromo, tragic that was never made. Okay. I'll take a look at that. I'll grab a quick screenshot of this so I know what I'm looking for here. Cool. I will check a look at that. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate you. And the final ones here. Okay. It says here, all right, Command Unit asks opinion on 40K. It's almost mainstream now. I don't know if he was asking me or if he was asking my guest. I don't know. I'll have to ask him off air. Thank you for that, buddy. And then Andrew here finally tonight. Show your kids Secondhand Lions, good family flick. Oh, dude, 2003 Secondhand Lions was a great movie. It is, as close to an Indiana Jones style adventure as you're going to get. Robert Duvall, Michael Caine, Haley Joel Osment, just fantastic in the role. I love that movie. I even have a copy of it on what is the UMD, right? Whatever the PSP stuff was. I bought a copy of it. PSP disc type. Was it what is it, right? So UMD. I found it at the Dollar Tree. I have it somewhere. So if I got to find my PSP, which I don't think I have anymore. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on tomorrow night because if what happens in the way of the live stream with Alex Jones, there might be some stuff to talk about. We'll see. I might need a day off. We'll see what happens. I'll probably be on though. What am I doing? I'm that kind of guy. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you all later. Thank you all so much. Have yourself a great night. You guys rock.